Am I not muted? Am I muted? I believe my mic is unmuted. You guys should be able to hear me. Welcome everybody to Midwest R6. I think we can hear each other as well, Enteritis. Is that correct? Okay. I yeah. So it sounds like my mic is on. I can hear Enteritis totally fine. And just to echo what he was saying, both teams are 3-1 right now. We have a great match between Lindenwood and the Redhawgs in their division, respectively. They're both doing really well. They're some of the top teams in their divisions. So it should be a very exciting match. We have a clash of titans right now with how they've been playing the game, the maps they've been selecting and banning. It's been a very variable gameplay overall. It's been a lot of fun to watch. Um, I'm gonna toss it back over to you, Enteritis, to see if we can hear you again. Try that one. Got it. And Enteritis, thank you. Perfect. Make sure I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Awesome. So as we work through these issues, thank you guys for being patient with us. You know how these things go. Usually Midwest R6 on it 100% of the time. So I trust that you're going to give us a little bit of leeway as we work through this. And plenty to talk about as well with the matchups between Lindenwood and the Redhawgs. Now, just from the perspective of what we've been seeing lately, and for the past games that they've been playing, Lindenwood, I know for a fact, has a pretty good MO of what they like to do. They have a good understanding of what they want to play across different games and what maps that they are comfortable with versus not comfortable with, but they're also really great at not showing their hands too early. They like to ensure that they scout out their opponents and ban anything that their opponents prefer to play, but they have, one or two things that they like to keep on their side as well.
Yeah, and that's it's always good to see coming out of teams. Let's see, are we good now? VMix sometimes doesn't like to work. But we're gonna go ahead and just jump right into those rosters, starting with Lindenwood.
Yeah, starting with Lindenwood, let's check out the stats for Lindenwood as they stand right now. I know they have some star players on that side. Meech is a very popular one. And if we could get those pulled up, perfect here. Yeah, Meech with a 1.21 KDA. You've got Zathor with always, on the lower end of the KDA, but we've seen Zathor pull out some incredible plays on a supportive role. Wraithling, Rain, and Clipped, and Meech, all of them having a 1.0 or above KD just speaks to how well they've been doing in this series. They've been doing an incredible job keeping every round over round, at 100% and ensuring that they can be very competitive in any and every round that they play.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a very important thing. Especially having all your entries with very high survival rating. It's incredible to see an entry be able to get in. And usually you'll see entries with those low survival rating because they'll walk in and they'll take a fight and either they'll win it or lose it, depending on how much information they have. And that's really what changes it. So when you have a whole lot of information and you're able to play off of each other, a lot of times you'll see trades, especially in the higher levels. But that's not what I'm seeing here. That high survival rate just kind of points towards them playing really well on their entries. And so we're going to jump over to that MVP here. Meech, 1.21 KD ratio, 0.84 KPR, 52% survival rating, 64 total kills, 30% survival rating, 52 SPR, and total kills sit at 64. Showing that blitz, like myself a little bit of a shield. I don't know about you, Kevin. Love watching a shield player play, because just how much pressure they can push.
Mhm.
But those are some impressive stats. We're going to jump over to Clipped, not our MVP, but he is the captain of Lindenwood. His expectations. He thinks this week is going to be a good challenge for the team. We're ready to take on the number 2 team in our division and ready to take their spot as they're sitting at that number 3 right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Lindenwood's going to come out with a swinging round, I believe. In my opinion, they had the picks on their side. They had, uh, you know, their MO banning Nighthaven primarily being the one thing that they really care about doing. They ban
Yeah.
Nighthaven basically every week that they've played. But in any case, we'll talk about that a little bit more as we go down the line. I want to get into the Redhawgs, talk about their
Yeah.
players, their stats.
Absolutely. So coming out of the Redhawks, you got some names you may know: Juki, Maniac, Phantom, Mubo. Excuse me. Sorry, give me 1 second. Mubaho and Zinc, and got some interesting stats as well. Juki sitting himself at a 1.05 KD and a 49.08 SPR. Maniac that 0.81 KD and a 43.76 SPR. Phantom sitting at the 1.63 KD, highest on his team. Zinc real close behind him. He's got a high SPR as well. Also the highest on the team. He's got some impressive stats himself. Sitting at that 57.29. Muhoboho sitting at 1.28 on his KD. His SPR is 49.24. And finally, Zinc. Noah said he has one as high as well. Not as high as Phantom, unfortunately. It's hard to follow behind that. Him sitting at that 1.5 and the 51.76 SPR. Some interesting stats. Definitely impressive coming out
Yeah,
from both teams.
absolutely. I'm honestly surprised that they have two players with a 1.5 plus KD. That's going to be something interesting to see when they go up against Lindenwood, having that kind of higher highs and lower lows of players. But speaking of higher highs, the MVP E Phantom with a 1.63 KD that we talked about before, kills per round being 0.83 is still fairly high. Having a higher KD than your KPR usually indicates that you can be a very explosive player. So I intend to see a lot of explosive gameplay from E Phantom being the MVP. Maybe some rounds where they just absolutely pop off. Total kills 39, that survival rating of 49%. Whew, that is incredible.
Absolutely. I mean, being able to survive half of the rounds you walk into, it just shows where he's getting those impressive stats. And like I said earlier, it really shows, even just like looking at the stats, how much information your team is giving you, because that means you're ready for those fights. You're not going into them blind. But not going to go into something else fine, and that's the map veto. We're going to jump over to that real quick. Sitting here with Border, Bank, and Cafe. Some maps that neither team has really played that much.
Yeah, that's exactly correct. I know from the side of Lindenwood that, the research that I did, absolutely no games played on Border, Bank, or Cafe, let alone selecting those for themselves. So I expect that they've been practicing a little bit as
Yeah.
they've been
Oh
working
yeah.
on, their what they're doing this
Yeah.
season. They still don't want to play Nighthaven. I don't blame them. Honestly, Nighthaven
No.
is probably
Yeah.
one of the highest banned maps just across the league. No blame at all
Yeah.
whatsoever. What I'm surprised about is how often that they ban Bank, because I know Bank is very popular with some of the teams. They
Yeah.
banned Banking Consulate a good bit. So this time they banned Nighthaven and Oregon, which is interesting because they actually did play on Oregon in one of these recent
Yeah.
weeks. So having that experience, you'd think would maybe lead them to want to keep that in the map rotation. But in any case,
Yeah.
it was an idea, and I think that they've probably got a better game plan than I could possibly predict at this moment.
I know you mentioned that neither team has much experience on this maps. Well, neither team has any experience on Border at all in this season. A little skewed by Miami's forfeits that they've had two so far in week 1 and 4. So they had a little bit of a break last week. But we're going to go ahead and jump into bans. Lindenwood is going to start us off with the first ban being Osa. Not entirely surprising on this map.
No, not at all. What is surprising to me is, as we've seen through these weeks, usually you have some pretty standard operator bans. A Thatcher is, I'd say like pretty high ban rate, but also just very common blind attack banner. However, banning the Osa is absolutely reasonable, especially on Border, where that type of pressure in doorways is going to be incredibly important, and just being able to walk onto site can be crucial, especially on things like the armory site, where you might not be able to breach the wall as easily as effectively as you want to. But moving on from that, Ram and Solus being banned on the side of Redhawgs. What are your thoughts?
Um, I'm not entirely surprised about the Ram, honestly. They've seemed to be banning a lot. Mira getting banned by Lindenwood. But yeah, like I said, they've of the 4 maps they've played so far, they've banned it twice. Guess it's just something that they don't like to play. Mira also an operator on this map that doesn't really get to too much play. Sometimes you'll see some bands like Finner come out, whatever it may be, whatever
Mhm.
teams decide. But it seems like they're kind of leaning towards that Mira.
Yeah, absolutely. And Mira is a very common ban. I don't know if it's just a natural comfort ban because I don't think that Mira is necessarily in the strongest state that she's been in before, especially with this TDM meta. I have not seen the most Mira setups, probably due to the ban rate. But regardless, even with the creative setups that you can have, especially on Armory with Mira or in like vents with Mira, being able to control essentially one site or one major choke point with impunity is something that most teams don't want to have to strategize around, and so they just resort to banning it instead. So no blame there,
Yeah.
and we're going to see a very different type of defensive lineup.
Yeah, definitely seeing Thorn gets played a lot recently.
So
I'm not
much.
sure what's up with that.
The 1.5.
I have it's a 1.5. You're not wrong. I hate to see it, but I mean the 1.5 is just so strong. It's hard to get away from. She also has a decent gadget and that shield. With a few operators losing some of their utility, being able to bring that shield on a character with a 1.5, it's not hard to see why they chose that.
Not at all. And with the TDM meta being prevalent, trap meta is also very common.
Yeah.
Obviously, Thorn is not exactly top trapper that you would imagine, but
No.
having the ability to slow down your opponents, either with a deployable shield, using that as a slowing mechanism to get into sight, or just having the last second rushes that we see in this TDM meta sometimes because all these players bring operators that aren't the most clear cut on setting up a strategic defense or a strategic breach. I definitely see a lot more trappers than I have lately, but I could talk about this all day. What I want to start talking about is how 2 players are already off the board less than a minute into this round with Clipped and Juki going down. That's Gridlock on offense is not necessarily the worst thing to lose. Oh, but losing Ying is going to hinder a lot of your strategy with the Finka rush.
I mean, you do say that it's not bad to lose Gridlock, but it's rough on that flank. You got to make sure you have those drones. You can't just use the audio coming from her canisters. And so that's just one more thing to really think about, adding to the numerous things to think about. What we're thinking about right now is going to be Rainfall, or getting the kill into Maniac. Another body falling for MU, and they're looking to see if they can't answer back. So far, they haven't been able to. All they've been able to take out is this Thorn here. Clipped as being the only one to fall. One may fall here soon.
Oh.
Rain almost finds Trick's body, but he doesn't. Oh, just bullets going back and forth, left and right. He's going to swing out. Rain's going to find it finally, and now it's all up to Moy Baha, who is not going to find it. Rain's going to find the last one, and MU's going to pick up. Or excuse me, Lindenwood is going to pick up the first one. Brain fart.
Oh, you're good. I was about to ask MU how they planned on breaching in a 2v4 with Finka Ace.
Yeah.
And the answer apparently was that they weren't going to try to ever. They were just going to go for picks and see if they could even up the player line a little bit before they went for something more committal. And it's not the wrong decision. It just so happens that whenever you lose a lot of your soft utility, like some flashes, for example, or some soft breach ability to open up some of those open rooms up in the upper floor, it makes it a lot more difficult to get pressure into adjacent rooms, let alone to sight.
No, definitely. And especially when you are down on that man count. You got to play a lot more critically. And when you have issues like that, it's hard to answer for them. You kind of have to make concessions here and there. And unfortunately, they weren't able to. They couldn't clear Rain out of that corner, sitting inside a break room, and he was able to just get bodies left and right. I think he picked up, 3 kills that last round?
Something like that, yeah. 3, yeah. Rain got 4 kills, actually, on that last round, which was absolutely crazy.
Oh, it was.
But bonkers. We're getting most of the most of the defense idea is still the same with the Legion instead of the Thorn.
Yeah.
Oryx, maybe they're just. I mean, I'm just seeing 1.5 scripts down the board, my guy. But regardless of that, it seems like they're trying to go for more of a I want you to enter
Ooh.
here strategy. And if you choose to wait too long, you're going to have to deal with, with either having to
Yeah.
clear out every single soft wall, or you're going to have to run through a bunch of Legion traps, and nobody wants to do that.
Nope. What we also don't want is seeing Rainfall. That
Ugh.
fast. Already down. He was the big pick in that last round. Another pick coming out. Juki's going to be able to find Wraithling. And there's already two bodies off the board from Lindenwood, and they haven't been able to answer so far.
No,
MU. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry about that. A little bit of the delay there makes it difficult. I don't want to talk over you, but yeah, losing the Valkyrie isn't the worst thing. Losing your top fragger is, not exactly great. So having that I wouldn't call it a net neutral experience. You still got a lot of information out of that play, but you're in a 3v5 dealing with what could be a very fast attack with Ying Finka, and fast is exactly what we're seeing. ePhantom runs in here, up in this upper floor, throws the Candela, looking to try to make some pressure into the vertical right above site. Or at least just getting the upstairs cleared out so that they can do more of a vertical push. Oh, but Maniac goes down. Meech does find one. Playing the castle in that side area is going to be very beneficial from helping to ensure that they don't get a lot of space for free. Playing that spread out playstyle is kind of what we're seeing here, but here's the vert. Here's where we begin.
Starting to, like I said, getting up that vert, getting it started. They did choose to leave that castle barricade. It could make it very hard for anyone to walk up east stairs and just kind of flank them up. I don't believe there's a hole in that triple wall, but there is going to be a hole in Zathor as he's going to fall to ePhantom. Clip's seeing if he can't find any answer for that, but so far he hasn't been able to. They're down to 2 players here from Lindenwood, and Clip's going to make sure that he can't jump in this window. He's going to jump in anyway, and he's not going to fall. There he goes. He falls finally. Meech is going to find one of his own, and they've got 2 bodies. Juki, excuse me, close by. He's going to take out Clipped, and it's all up to Meech here, who's going to fall to Moibaho, and that's it. MU's going to finally pick up their first round after 2 rounds, and now we're at that 1-1 scoreline.
I don't really know what you take from those 2 rounds. We're so 2 very volatilely different rounds. I think the only thing that you can really take from it is that, either team has the ability to close out a round if they have a player lead. So I would imagine that we're going to see either the momentum build for the Redhawgs to push an even harsher lead, or for it to be more of a let's play measured and ensure that we can get the picks that we need before we pressure in. However, if Lindenwood responds to that in kind with a more steady defense, not going for anything too aggressive, just holding your locations as best as you can anytime that you get information on the person, reposition, it's possible that the Redhawks are not going to be prepared to push in as quickly as they want to. But bringing the Ying and the Finka always means that you have the ability to make a last-second push and possibly find success.
And, I hope they do. So far, both teams have been playing incredibly well. There's been some mistakes here and there, but for the most part, I think just a little bit of rooting for Miami. Try not to be too what's the word? My brain's not working right now. Too MU heavy, whatever. We'll go with that. And making sure that they're continuing to play properly. Making sure you're playing with your team, you're coordinating properly, getting those drones in, and just playing your game.
We see a good spread right here. I mean, you just look at where all the defenders are placed. It's like they're a star 5-point prongs on all different locations of the map, and this is what we wanted to see. Hopefully they don't take too many aggressive gunfights early, because then losing that pressure in one of those prongs of the star, it's very easy for the rest of it to collapse. You want to ideally hold them out as long as you possibly can, force them to use utility to get into even like an adjacent area of the site. But not being prepared, I think that was a little bit of a jump scare, and each going down.
Rain's gonna find one of his own to answer, though. That was a fast push coming out from ePhantom. So far, he's been playing incredibly fast. But you gotta make sure you're not overextending. Not walking too far past your drones, and not walking too far past the rest of your teammates so you can get a trade. And that's kind of what happened with Juki. He saw the kill coming out against Meech and got aggressive and got confident. But maybe a little bit too confident he was going to fall, and Rain's going to be able to drop back without an answer because, like I said, they weren't ready for that trade. They weren't in the right place. A C4 goes out, but it's not going to find anyone. It is going to leave a little bit of a hole, though, for MU to use.
So much blind peeking here. I mean, they have plenty of drones available, but they're just kind of blind peeking these corners to create pressure, and it's very risky, but it seems to be working out for them in the 4v4 aggression over the side of the Redhawks. This grenade's going to go out, but I don't think... Oh, I spoke too soon. It finds Rain. Incredible placement, but traded right back as Wraithling onto Maniac, and we're down to Pulse, Oryx, and Mute against Ace, Finka, Ying. Ace, Finka, Ying are not the three operators that I want alive if I'm on defense. Oh, and 1-for-1 traded back, and now we're down to the last 1v2. Lindenwood is crumbling at the seams. Clipped is going to try to stay alive, make the pressure with the pulse, but I don't know what they can do. You cannot pull out heartbeat sensor lest you possibly get swung, so you just have to hold this angle, hope that somebody walks into you, and this is where they begin to drone. And drone finds him.
There is a cam to his right, though, so they also have a little bit of information coming from Lindenwood. He is expecting a player to jump in through this rotate, but it's going to be Trix holding it. He's going to throw a nade here, and it may just catch him, and it does! MU's going to pick up another round, with Trix picking up 2 nade kills in that round.
My goodness. Yeah, that's a frag grenade difference right there. Finka just getting those back very recently.
Yeah.
Is I don't know if Ubisoft is sweating that one, but I think it's seeing a lot more play because of it.
Oh, I think I heard the new next patch notes are removing them. Is that? They're watching this game.
They're watching Midwest R6 to determine.
They're watching. Yeah, absolutely. This is the
yes. This is high level gameplay. That sounded sarcastic, but it is way better than the majority of players.
No, I mean, it definitely is high-level gameplay, and that's something you can see coming out from MU. They're attacking very well now. Not to say anything about Lindenwood. I think Lindenwood is also doing a good job of knowing when to push back. Rain was able to pick up that first one, even out that man count, get that trade, and then fell. A lot of teams, a lot of players, what will happen is they'll see that kill, and they'll go, oh, I know there's at least one other player here because he killed my teammate. I want that. I want to get a kill. I'm feeling confident. He didn't. He made the smart play. He backed out, and it helped him win that round.
That's exactly what we wanted to see. That's the type of adaptation that matters the most in this TDM meta. Absolutely. And we now have the setup. I love this breach to keep CCTV open, to keep security room open, and a hatch down there as well. Just a lot of rotational ability, keeping the little hole so that you can see down into customs. I mean, there's a lot of action here in the strategy. It's about the execution that Lindenwood seemed to falter in the last round with. So it's really a big question of, can they make this turn around?
Well, I mean, it's not too far gone. We're only sitting at that 2-1 marker, and so they still got plenty of time to adjust. They've got 3 rounds here to mess with, and we'll see if they can kind of figure out their way, get their groove, and really get into it. They're gonna start their droning, starting, like I said, get into it, and they're gonna push in. Phantom being the aggressive one so far. Reason he's got those great stats is he knows when to push and he's willing to do it. He's going to go in, but he's going to have to be careful of Wraithling here. Might find the first one. He's going to go down. He's going to fall. That's E-Phantom already off the board. Wraithling's going to take a lot of damage in return, but he's not going to fall. He's still using all of these holes in the ceiling, and they're looking for him through it. Bullets are going to go through them, but they're not going to find his body, and there it goes. They find him. He gets down. He hasn't been finished off yet, but he is down on that top floor.
That's a rough place to be. They've got all of customs now to their what exactly that they want. They can play some claymores. They can really deal with the entire downstairs because customs is kind of that link to everywhere that you need, including those stairs right there. Crucial to get control of this and this hallway if you want to be able to break in, but you can see these rotate holes are incredibly scary. So sending your Jackal up first to see if there's been any action in the area is very smart, but you've got IQ pushing in as well. I think that this has just turned into a very methodical play from the Redhawgs. However, being down 2 players is not going to make this easy.
And it's not going to make it easier when Rain's going to pick up another one. Rain picking one up as well. And now it's all up to Ace here. He's going to have to find 5 bodies. And this may just be a flawless round here for Lindenwood to answer back. That's something we asked them to do. They're only down 1-2, but this could be 2-2 here. One's gonna swing him nearby. Come on, you know you want to swing it, Clift. You're looking for him. They hear him in fast forward. Bullet's gonna go towards him, but they're not gonna find him yet. He's gonna rotate over to customs, and he may be able to catch this Legion off guard. Nearby on that thing. You know he wants to swing. He's waiting for it. Moy is finally looked away. He's going to back up. He's going to get hit by that Legion Mine. He's going to get swung. And there it goes. That flawless round that Lindenwood we're looking for.
Yeah, unfortunate timing there. Let this be a lesson to all of you players at home. When you're droning in on the first floor, look up. Make sure that you're not dealing with any sort of like unorthodox gameplay on the vert from defense, because that is just such a free way for attackers to get kills that everybody just kind of forgets about sometimes. You know, we all think about spawn peaks, we all think about, you know, seeing holes in walls, but it's rare that you, because it's just not in your natural line of sight for you to look up or down, and that's just such an easy way, if be it cheesy way, to get a couple of kills that may not work more than once, but that's going to secure you around, and that's all you really need to get some momentum on your side.
Absolutely. Momentum is a big part of this game. It's a big part of the morale, and honestly, I would take a team with a good morale over 5 individual players who are very good gunners, but kind of bring down the team. I don't know if that's a hot take, but I definitely feel like whenever a team, even if they are doing worse, if they are keeping themselves ready and making sure that they're playing well off each other and they're talking, they feel like a much better team at the end of the day than anyone with individual gun skill.
Yeah, don't disagree with you there. Lindenwood's both of Lindenwood's victories though have been, I believe, on Armory. So having this lower floor site that they need to defend, it did not work out exactly so well last time. It seems that they have a big adaptation. Well, the characters, I should say, are no adaptation whatsoever. They picked the exact same roster of characters from last time, but they've adapted exactly where their players are located. They have a lot of upstairs presence. They're not going to let MU get that vert presence without 2 players able to trade somebody out before maybe backing off. Catching that drone there, it's going to make it a little bit difficult. You never know who's going to be hiding. But this is a lot more steady gameplay. It looks like keeping the pressure hot, even from inside to outside, but not over-aggressing. This is great stuff.
I do want to make one note, though. You did talk a little bit about the changes that Linden would make. I want to talk about E-Phantom. He swapped off that Ying. He swapped off that aggressive playstyle, and now he's playing a gridlock. He's completely changed the way that he's been playing, just like a switch. I'll see if this plays a little bit better, as he's actually going for a nade now. He's not just going to run in. He's going to try to nade this player sitting at the back of Armory lockers. Swings a little bit, but isn't able to find them. And so he's going to be able to keep alive. Rain's still a lot of pressure right there in Armory that they haven't been able to clear just yet.
Yeah, I really like that. Phantom looked at Trix and said, "Oh, I saw you got a couple of grenade kills there. That sounds fun." Switch to a grenade character. Not the first time we've seen Gridlock in this game so far, but so far it's the more effective one. Fuse is going to find Rain up on that top floor. Maniac, looking like a maniac on the floor, the top floor that is, looking for the vertical play here. Meech had to drop down, feeling a little bit of the pressure. Wraithling says, "I'm not going to give up so easily. I'm going to pressure up stuff." There's Wraithling finds the kill on Moihabaho. Oh, but just gets traded back from Juki, and that's all upstairs presence for the side of Redhawgs needed. Clip trades one back onto Trix as Trix takes down Zathar, and it's 2 versus 3. The walls are closing in on Lindenwood.
They're looking to see if they can answer back for some of those deaths that they have been coming towards their side. Wraithling was able to do a little bit of pressure, slow down the attack upstairs, take out one of those players. He did end up getting taken out, but looks like someone may get taken out here soon. Manic runs around the corner, shoots his bullets, but he doesn't know Clip's there. Clip's going to be able to find him, and so he's off the board. That's Fuse gone. Juki looking to see if he can't maybe answer for this. Meech just radding a little bit inside of sight, or not inside of sight, excuse me, inside of I cannot think of the name. Server, thank you. Server. In workshop, and so he may just find one of E-Phantom. He's nearby. Looking to see Juki looking to see if he can't find one, but he doesn't. And so Lindenwood's gonna take apart the last 2 attackers and pick up the round.
I didn't feel like the Redhawgs took a lot of time to press in there. Like that last second push, they really spent their time effectively, I felt like, and I'm not sure where the wheels fell off, but suddenly they had like 20 seconds left and were feeling the pressure, and that's why they didn't get a chance to really use utility to clear out where they wanted to push through. And so a couple of like nice off angle kills secures Lindenwood that round. However, the Redhawks had a really great start to that round, trading out kills very nicely, keeping a lot of buddy system going on, being able to trade back kills every time that there was one traded onto you. It was really, really effective. It just so happened that the timer ran a little too low. So do exactly what you did, but with maybe 30 more seconds on the clock.
Yeah, it seemed like kind of that marker where they slowed down, like I said, was when Castle walked up. It seemed like it kind of just discombobulated them a little bit. They seemed to know what they were doing. They were doing a great job of clearing out the roamers upstairs, and then they got caught off guard with that Castle and didn't recover fast enough from it. They wasted a lot of time. Like you said, they needed that extra 30 seconds. They just didn't have it. They weren't able to find it. And so it cost them a round because they tried to speed up there at the last few seconds to push in, and it just didn't work for MU.
Yeah, we're bringing smoke now. Having those smokes available is going to be pretty nice, especially when you have to defend vent server. Being able to choke off or to smoke off the very few entryways that there are into vent room can be really effective, but the rush is coming in. Maniac, they haven't expected this one yet. Runs in, grabs one kill quickly onto Zathor, and forget everything that I said about the smokes because that smoke is down. And what is this? They have sight control, and they are diffusing 30 seconds into the round.
No.
And Moibaha doesn't quite get it down, though. Gets downed. 2v4, though. Redhawk 2v3 more effectively at this point, but Juki's trying to look for the res on Moibaho. Clipped, though, from above. Kills Juki and Moibaho. And it's 2v2. You don't have any vertical pressure, and you have Pulse above you. I mean, this is just terrifying. Terrifying. Oh, into Rifling, too. Maniac takes another one down, and this is not the best position to be in as Pulse, is being above as the last person remaining with no way to get down quickly. So, 40 seconds for the side of Clipped to make it back and try to make a play happen. Oh, and trading one out is going to be a great way to do that. ePhantom went a little bit aggressive, hoping to get a quick kill onto Clipped, which I don't know if that was necessarily the move. I think you play 2v1 in that situation, but now you're in a 1v1 where Clipped knows exactly where Maniac is. Maniac is just playing as safe as possible, knows that Clipped is above them, but doesn't really know where to hold safely. Clipped has to come downstairs at some point, and this is the time to do it. 15 seconds left on the clock. I don't know if we have enough time. Clipped has just got to run straight into sight, but I don't think Maniac hears him. Clipped gets into sight. Oh, but they're running around, not sure where anybody is. And Maniac, I think, got a little bit confused, didn't realize that Clipped was on the same level. And Clipped gets another kill. But the attackers win because I don't think Clipped knew where the diffuser was.
Juki. A little bit of banter in all chat. But I mean, that was a rough round for MU. They started out really hot, but they showed why you don't do a rush on Workshop. It's horrible. I can't put it that lightly. It's just a horrible idea because you have vert pressure everywhere. They didn't have any holes open, which a little questionable on Lindenwood's part, but it didn't matter. They had a pulse. They could just sit there and work for free. And Maniac just seemed a little lost in that last round, or in that last few seconds. He couldn't find the player. He didn't know where he was. Just shooting him from everywhere. He was like a little bit of a boogeyman there. But like I was saying, there's a reason you don't leave the vert up there, and he's just able to apply so much pressure when you do. Quite a lot of questionable plays coming out of MU in that last round.
Yeah, I liked the idea of the rush, but the capitalizing after that just wasn't quite there. You got two players on the site very quickly, but you tried to get the diffuser down without actually clearing a little bit more of what you needed to. And so swinging out of customs, I believe, took the first one down, and that, you got the pressure, but going for the diffuse plant quickly can put a lot of pressure on the defenders, but it puts just as much of pressure on the attackers to get in position quickly. The defenders have the setup. They know where the rotations are. They know how to get back to site more quickly and more effectively with all the information available inside to defenders than attackers do with no time on the start.
We're gonna swap over real quick. We're swapping halves. Now we're gonna see Lindenwood on this attack. We're gonna see MU on this defense. Like to see how Lindenwood pushes this. So far they've been having some good coordinations on the dual roam. And so I expect to see some good droning as not just one, but two drones spot out Maniac here. A third gets taken out. Drones are just falling towards East Stairs. I guess it's duck hunting season, and the only little bit of working is gonna be drones. Is he gonna find 4 drones on that East Stairs?
Yeah, 5 drones all taken down basically before any motion has happened inside. And so, yes, 4 drones now only available for the side of Lindenwood without actually having made a lot of pressure inside. They're going to have to blind peek a lot of stuff. But if MU blind peeks them back, they're just going to get free picks. It's going to make it a lot easier for them to push in without information. So we'll see how they can do this. With bringing in the Thatcher and Ace to break into Tellers is interesting. Just trying to get that above ground pressure, but there's no counter from the side of Redhawgs on those reinforced breaches. So the Thatcher felt like a little bit of a wash. Oh, but E Phantom is just firing away. Gets a kill very quickly, showing why Warden is still a very popular and strong operator despite the nerfs, or maybe I should just call them changes. And getting some upstairs pressure is the side of Lindenwood.
Yeah, E-Phantom did a good job of falling back there. Honestly, with the way he's been playing, I fully expected him to just wide swing Buck there. And that would have been a bad call because we saw it the last few seconds. I think it was Clipped who just walked into Armory. Oh no, Meech! Meech takes a lot of damage towards Zathor. You've got to be careful when you're doing that, making sure that you're not shooting your teammates and that you're not walking in front of your teammates. There's going to be a lot of damage that could decide the round there at the last seconds. Looking to see if they can't find anyone. And speaking of seconds, we're in the last 30 seconds here. 8 players still alive total. No one falling just yet.
No, Legion and Frost on the side of Redhawgs, and you have 25 seconds to pressure the entirety of site to get in onto the site. Yeah, you have Gridlock to push people out of corners, or at least, keep them in corners if they choose to stay there. But you have 15 seconds, and you have to deal with Goo Mines and Frost Mats. This is going to be scary. Lindenwood trying to push in 3v4. Only having Buck, Gridlock, and Thatcher available is not going to help with getting into sight. And there's the Frost Mat going down, and now... Oh, very quickly, as soon as we just talked about it, last 10 seconds of the round, things fall apart very, very fast. But E-Phantom closing out that round very strong for the Redhawgs, and we saw why you cannot do a last-second push against trap operators.
No. I mean, honestly, even without the traps, I don't think they were doing that. I don't think Buck had the bomb there. I'm not even sure they had bomb. I didn't see who had it. Yeah. I didn't see who had it. But I mean... I don't really know what they expected to do there. He was the only player who was realistically going to be able to get in the sight. Fortunately, walking into that Frost Mat. I don't know. That was a rough round for Lindenwood. Definitely a lot of things to work on pushing forward, but it's still close. It's only 3-4. We aren't sitting on that match point, so they have time to work with.
Yeah, this is I think still very close. I'm glad that we're getting to see for game 1 for map 1 to see a game this close, to see a bunch of very interesting and different strategies come out as early as they have is really a treat for us, but it's also going to make the adaptations even more juicy. I think that if you go for those aggressive gameplay when you're on attack, let's talk about the Ash Rush for a second that we saw from MU. Especially in the last rounds of attack, it gives Lindenwood pause. How are they going to play defense? Are they going to play aggressively? Are they going to have, these different cheese setups, these different cheese strategies? It's clear that they have some ideas on border. Even if they didn't win that round, what do we have to be worried about? And variable gameplay is all honestly just an observer's best friend. So, and variable is exactly what we're seeing here. E-Phantom setting up in security and trying to get some quick kills early on. Not going for the repeak is very intelligent, though. Just backing up in security.
Yeah, so far, E-Phantom has been a very smart player. He knows when to push and he knows when to back up. There's another kill from him, but he's going to fall. He's going to get that trade, but he's already done the damage. He took out Meech, who is one of the set of nades that they have. They do have one more set on Gridlock. Not an operator that I would ever think to go, oh, let's put some nades on that one. But nonetheless, one more set of nades, so it's not totally off the board. Maniac taking some damage. Apparently, team damage is what's gonna happen tonight, as people have been taking damage from their teammates left and right here. Rain also taking a little bit of damage from the player 90. Didn't realize there was anyone sitting on those reinforcements, and they're gonna go ahead and fall back, not dying just yet.
Seeing a little bit of use out of the Thatcher now, being able to clear out the Kaid trips on that wall so that they can use the charges to get in. It's looking like a lot more coordination to break in adjacent to site here. Oh, and aggressive is the name of what Wraithling wanted to make happen, or excuse me, Maniac wanted to make happen there, but Wraithling finding the kill means that the defense has to back even further up and give up a lot of that upstairs site pressure. And still looking for picks here. I'm not sure that this is the play from the Redhawgs. Continuing to hold tight angles is fine, but unfortunately, if you get traded back quickly off of something like a quick peek, that's a really, really rough spot for your team to be in. And that's exactly what happened. It was a little bit of a strafe peek there, but doesn't see the woman. Just gonna sit down on the ground there. But in any case, the Redhawgs are crumbling. Find another trade back. You know, peeking the windows, I guess it was gonna work, you know, like a broken clock at least twice a day, but is it going to help you when the team is running in? What a shot. And Rain just runs in. Just gets two. Very quickly closes out that round. I don't know. That kill looked wild to me. But what a round.
Just a little bit.
I'm lost. What a round.
Yeah. No, I mean, it was definitely a really fast one at the end. And you put it perfectly. They were doing a great job of holding that pressure, but just not well enough. Lindenwood able to pick up that last round there, and they did a good job of staying near each other, setting each other up for trades, and finally making sure that Rain could just run in there at the end and push in and take those final two players. And one that was, like you said, a little bit of a questionable shot, but we'll give it to him.
Yep, definitely. I mean, yeah, if you are watching this at home, you're a player that doesn't want to pull out your drone all the time, but you still want information before you break into site. There's a reason why Yana is one of the most popular characters in the game at competitive and at a casual level. Just a free drone, and it's even possible. I'm not saying this is exactly what happened, but it's even possible that the opponents weren't as afraid from it because it was Yana, and they thought it's possible that it was a clone. I don't think that's necessarily what happened. I think it was more of just a timing mismatch and just a good call from Lindenwood to push at that exact moment. But those are the types of plays that you can think about, especially in your games at home when playing that character. So it's a very strong character right now, and that's why Lindenwood is going to bring it back a second time. Still basically the same comp here. Sledge is always great soft breacher, bringing in Ace as, you know, the most versatile hard breach option. Thatcher is always going to be a good choice, regardless of if the enemy team has something to deal with it. Although it's going to be nice against that mute against the wall there. Gridlock has seen a lot of popularity since the buffs. And of course, Yana to help push in. Going to see some tight angles here on the outside walls as we take a more measured approach to getting inside, and the defense takes a more measured approach to how they fight here. No spawn peaks as far as I can tell.
No action so far in that first minute. There's going to be a little bit of information coming out of that pulse, but they're not going to be able to do anything with it quite yet. He's going to see him run in. He's letting his teammates know he's there, but currently no one can activate it off of it. The C4 goes out. Will it find anyone? They're looking for it. There it goes. Wraithling gets taken out by it while he runs right in. And there's still one more upstairs, but he does have another C4. He tries to use it. He doesn't find it. Zathor is able to get back to site for free. Well, not site, but other side of the top floor for free. Maniac looking to see if he can't find one. He does. He finds one on a meech. And there it goes. They've lost control of the top floor. Rain seeing if he can't take control of this first floor, though. His teammates trying to retake site. And they're trying to push in. Zathor's actually going to fall to Juki, excuse me, who's still upstairs. Clip's going to find one as well. Rain trying to keep himself alive. He's going to take out Tricks, looking for more, but he's going to get taken down. And so it's all up to Clip here now. He's got one body by himself, and he's got 3 to fight against. He's looking for any sort of feet in the floor holes, but he's not going to find it just yet. He knows his teammate's down, so he knows that side is clear. He can walk in and look for anybody, but he doesn't have anybody to fight with. Rain's trying to see if he can't climb out, but he can't. Juki's going to find him, and now it's definitely all up to Clipped. He doesn't have any more teammates left, no one downed, and so he's going to have to take this fight by himself, sitting in this 1v3.
Well, this is tough. Trying to take a more direct approach because it is a 1v3, but I think you have to make an aggressive play here if you want anything to happen. Holding soft angles is Redhawgs, hoping to just wait out Clipped. 26 seconds, and Clipped actually has to do something. Oh, but finds an incredible kill there. I don't know, just saw a little bit of the head, I think, and Clipped, with the eyes of a hawk, takes out Phantom, the MVP. However, Juki is going to find a quick one back onto Clipped. That's just a nice little angle there. Stops the rotation back to main door, and what a play. I have a lot and also at the same time not very many thoughts about that round. Felt like Lindenwood had a great push in vertically over the site, but stopped there. They didn't take any more space. And so getting the castle, just being able to walk up the stairs, get a couple of free picks and run back away. They had no pressure and security. They had nothing else upstairs. It seems like they didn't have any information beyond getting into that start of the vertical pressure on site. It's okay to send 5 players upstairs to start with a vertical push before spreading out into the rest of the map, but it's not okay to do that if you don't have information about the rest of the map. And that's exactly what happened and caused the downfall of Lindenwood. So Redhawgs recognizing that weakness in that play, I think, was really strong, and taking that round is exactly what they deserved.
Definitely. I think so far they've been doing a good job of kind of holding it together. Even when it seems like it's falling apart, they still kind of make sure that they're mentally there at the very least. They're pushing in, or they're holding the positions that they need to, and making sure that they don't give up too much space. Lindenwood, on the other hand, doing a good job of taking space. Rain so far has been an incredible key player in doing that. He's been pushing in and seeing those little spots in between and taking them whenever he can.
Yeah, I love that. I love that from... I mean, I love how all these players are playing their respective roles. I think it's really, really, really effective. Juki bringing out the dock is going to be a fun one. Wondering what exactly the motivation is for this. Is it because you have your star players like Phantom going for these roam kills, and just being able to heal up off of a trade is always going to be beneficial? Is it just because Doc's got a fantastic gun with a good scope? Is it for the self-revive, or is it just for the barbed wire? I'm curious to see what Juki makes out of this pick.
Currently no picks, though. They've been doing a good job of trying to limit the picks at the beginning of the rounds, making sure that they're not losing too many bodies. Something that MU kind of struggled a little bit with on that first half. They would lose a body here and there trying to get in, whether it was someone jumping out or them just walking into the crosshairs. Like I said, Lindenwood doing a good job of preventing that, as we're already down a minute and no one's died just yet. They're all over the map, but they are somewhat near another opponent, or another teammate, excuse me, looking to see if they can't find a trade or just win the fight of their own.
Yeah, getting some good vertical pressure here is always a good choice, just to hopefully force the defenders to be a little bit scared, maybe, get off of that adjacent site. However, not finding anything quite yet. Taking out tricks, though, having the mute go down is not exactly the best place to be. Losing an anchor quickly is a little scary, forcing somebody else to either rotate back to site or to pressure more quickly on to the people that are addressing vert. And it looks like they just choose to rotate more players back to site.
A bomb has been located.
Rain, unfortunately, falling. I know I had to say something. I just had to say something about him doing a good job of staying alive and pushing in and finding those gaps. And then he dies. I swear, the caster curse is so real. But I'm going to try not to cast curse anymore, as we're sitting at this 40-second mark. They haven't been able to make their way into sight just yet. There's bodies all over the building, still alive, still able to create a lot of pressure. Speaking of pressure, Meech is going to take a lot of damage through the floor from some of that pressure. Maniac, gonna be able to sit in front of this front door. Normally, I'd say that's kind of a questionable decision, but we're sitting at 20 seconds left. They just need to hold it together, don't give up any space to Lindenwood, and force him to push in at the last 5 seconds. We're getting close to the mark. It's 12 seconds. One's going to drop lobby. E-Phantom's going to find him, take it out. Two are going to drop hatch. They're going to see if they can't get this bomb down. There's no one to answer for so far. No one's in bathroom. E-Phantom's going to swing bathroom himself. He's not going to find anyone. Meech is actually going to take him out. There's going to be a down as one from the bathroom rotate takes him out. It's Phantom. The last one alive, Wraithling, tries to find it, but he doesn't. And that's it. That's MU picking up another round, putting us on match point.
That was very fun to watch. I was not expecting Lindenwood to get any sort of pressure with 15 seconds remaining and having to drop 2 down hatch to make a play, but I feel like there was a little bit of a mismatch on what was happening on defense there, that they didn't have anybody in bathrooms, nobody even with vision over the hatch on bathrooms, despite them hearing it being broken open not 20 seconds earlier. The person that was actually holding in tellers probably did hear that. So it's interesting to me that they didn't have somebody, you know, at least ready for that drop. And so, yeah, they got a free plant down, and Lindenwood felt like they had a good start to that. They even had somebody holding the plant, but from vents is another player to take out another body, and trades are not what you need with no time on the clock to defuse.
I swear, every time I talk good about a team, they do something like that. They waited till 13 seconds to drop lobby and drop bathroom hatch. It hurts a little bit. It hurts me just a little bit inside. I don't like to trash on teams. But when you waste 2 minutes and 45 seconds doing nothing, there's a little bit of questioning when it comes to your play calls, whether that's from the IGL or your entry. I know you lost Rain. I'm fully aware you lost Rain early in the round, and it just kind of goes to show, because you lost him, how crucial he's been so far in taking space.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, yeah. And it's not just because Rain plays Yana, it's because Rain isn't afraid to take space. Be that with information or without information, Rain is, you know, primarily a space taker, and that's exactly what the Lindenwood team did not get out of any of that, was taking space. They were able to get inside, but they were not decisive enough to use one of their 6 drones that they still had alive with the last 3 players that they had in the last push. You know, they had time to drone even before that, but they didn't feel comfortable either making plays off of the drones or using the drones at all to push forward. So I don't know if we're going to see more of that, but leaving the soft wall open on Armory is going to be an interesting choice, and Lindenwood is trying very quickly to make space out of that. They're trying to break it open, make sure that they don't get an opportunity to set up anything that they want there, and suddenly it's just a little bit difficult now for the Redhawgs to hold that side.
Yes, they're still trying to take control of this CC. They're opening everything up, trying to clear out Maniac here, but so far he's been able to stay alive. Moy's going to be able to find one on the Meech to get him out, but he's going to find himself falling, and Maniac still sitting inside of security. E-Phantom's going to fall. Zathor is going to get taken out. And people are just falling left and right. No more bodies for Lindenwood, except for this Ace and Rain. Rain has still been an incredible player so far, so it could still go towards Lindenwood. But do remember, this is match point right now. Rain's going to fall to Juki, and now it's all up to Wraithling. He's got to find 3 here to keep them alive in this match, but this may just not be their map. E-Phantom's still nearby. He could be very aggressive holding this, and Wraithling on little health, on little time, and he doesn't know if this is gonna be it for him. We could be looking down the barrel of the end of this match, as he's just gonna go ahead and rotate out. E-Phantom's gonna join the rest of his team, and Wraithling is gonna look for him. He's not gonna find him. All he's gonna find are castle barricades and some bullets coming down from the end of the hallway. Wraithling still does not find anyone, as they're just hiding from him, looking to see if they can't just finish off this map. He sees just a little bit of the arm of Trix, and he's gonna take him out. That's 1 more person off the board. He's only got 2 more left here, and Lindenwood trying to keep themselves alive.
It's tough. 27 seconds remaining. Wraithling has to make something happen here. Doesn't have enough time to actually get information here. They just have to push in solo without information,
Seconds to go.
and they're already closer to sight than I've seen Lindenwood for the last few rounds. There's a chance that this actually happens. Pushing in, swinging right here, but unfortunately getting shot through the wall because you had to try something. You had to try to get a pre-fire on the wall. So this is just a great play right there from Juki, understanding from audio and from visual exactly where the player would be, taking out the last player on the side of Lindenwood, securing MU the victory on the first map of Border.
And what an electric game. MU able to pick up that first one, but we're not done. Remember, this is a best of 3. And I do believe that was Lindenwood's pick, if I'm not wrong. I'm pretty sure that was Lindenwood's pick. That's a huge hit on that morale. And I don't know how you go into that next one prepared. They're going to what, Bank? I think Bank is the next one, if I'm not wrong. Let me double check. Yes, Bank is the next one. And that's MU's pick. They're already up 1 game, and it could be the end of the series for them if they have a killer game in this next one. But we'll go ahead, get any closing thoughts in that last round.
I hate that they lost at their own map pick. That's a big momentum killer. It's a big morale killer. Definitely. For sure.
Yeah.
It was looking close for a while, but yeah, I'm not sure that there is much else to recap that we didn't talk about right there in that game. That was just a really well played from MU, adapting very nicely and choosing to play their play style exactly how they wanted to. So I think that we were about to. Yeah, let me toss it back to you for closing thoughts before we go to our break.
No. I mean, you put it killer. I definitely think that MU did a good job. Lindenwood had their strengths, but they definitely had their weaknesses. Rain showed a little bit of a wade in for his team, but he wasn't able to stay alive for every round. And without that playmaker, it just showed how much they struggled without him. And so that's something they got to work on this next map. But we're going to go ahead and go to a short break here, and we'll be back with some more gameplay soon.
Ready for the feast. You know who made it.
Welcome back to Midwest R6 Week 5. We're about to get into map 2 of the Redhawgs versus
Yeah.
Lindenwood University, and we've got a fun one coming up. Bank. I have a lot of personal thoughts about the recent bank meta, but I want to hear what you have to say about it first.
Okay. How do I put this? Trying to put this a little nice. They're gonna need better coordination. That is the nicest I could put it. Bank is a map that requires a lot of coordination, making sure that you drone properly because there are so many rooms that you could lurk in, hide under desks, whatever. Like you know that little desk in some people call it Trump, but secretary.
Hmm.
I've seen so many people play like Oryx or Vigil and just lay underneath that desk and wait out until like a minute 30, and then just drop to the second floor or the first floor and clear. That is something you cannot let happen. And I did see droning wasn't great coming out of Lindenwood. Coming off of their map pick, I don't see this going well for them.
No, I agree with you entirely. The amount of rounds that ended with so many drones left on the board, and that went to like 0 time as well. It's not like they got taken out so early and they didn't have a chance to like drone out. They had a good amount of sight cleared, and they just didn't drone the last corners that they needed to.
Yeah, I mean, I just didn't really like most aspects of Lindenwood's attack. They had some great defenses. They were doing a good job of holding space, making sure there weren't any holes. Like there kind of were MU. I know I said earlier I don't like bashing on teams too much, but both teams have their kind of thing. Yeah, no, yeah, you're right. You're right. I think MU's got to work on their defenses where they're just leaving holes, where Rain was just taking advantage of it continuously, and Lindenwood's got to work on their droning.
I love the Ying ban. It just feels right that they banned Ying after that last game. I mean, it's not like Bank is necessarily, I think Bank is a better map for Ying personally, but regardless, it feels like a response ban, which just makes it all the funnier. Habana ban is very interesting though.
No, actually, I don't think it's that interesting. It's kind of required on Bank. There are what, 4 hatches on that first floor?
That's true. That's a good point.
If you leave it up, that's one operator that if you're just using 4 pellets, you can open every single hatch. And so what you have to do instead is not bring the ace, because ace is kind of trash on the first floor, or the basement, excuse me. You have to bring like Buck and a thermite.
That's a good point. That's why you're a real player and I'm just a caster.
I'm not a real player. Let's be honest. I'm trash at this game. I am atrocious. But anyway, we're watching people who are actually good at this game. That's the point. We're not going to talk about how bad I am. That's not that important.
Like if you're bad, we're definitely not going to talk about what I am. But regardless, you guys came to watch actual players play the game, and let's see. Lindenwood's setup is starting with Frost, Bandit, Azami. Oh, by the way, and we're starting on second floor, of course. Azami, Bandit, and Frost. Obviously, the Bandit is a must pick. Azami has become a must pick on almost every map at this point, but especially maps like this where you can create a lot of rotates and a lot of tight pixel angles. There are some interesting vault spots that you can create. I don't think that anybody's going to be trying to spend the time to make that happen in these league games, though. And then otherwise, just bringing some good, solid operators like Legion and Frost, because you want to force Redhawgs to make a coordinated push early on. And setting up both the Frost traps there is also, I think, a nice little thing that could pay off big. 1 round and 1 round only.
I just don't feel great about Frost anymore. I think the change... I'm doing that. Don't you worry.
I mean, why?
I definitely feel like the change, just made her that much worse. Her gun already is trash. Let's be honest. Unless you're shooting for heads, it's worse than Castle's gun. And so sure, you have a shotgun as a secondary, but the biggest thing was she had a shield and she had a great gadget. It's okay now. You can get yourself out of it for free. You don't have to take anything. It doesn't slow you down. I don't think they ever actually fully implemented the whole blood following you. I might be wrong about that. I actually haven't seen it happen too much. But I mean, sure, Siege players don't look down, but the whole thing with that was Siege players don't look down, so you could throw them on the 3rd floor and just not care, because someone would have to come and pick them up. They would have to waste the time to do that.
Yeah, that's very true. And in the last week's leak, we actually saw exactly that. People just forgot that the patch change happened. Oh, is this actually going to work out for them, though? Yeah, kind of just blind walking in here with the Ash, going up the stairs, but going to have to deal with... Oh, the Azami turns around. Meech is Aware gets a little bit of auditory info there, but
Oh.
Rain goes down. Maniac is so aware, so hyper aware, knows that the Azami setups are on the wall there, and is going to try to push in blind.
No, we saw a little bit of going around the merry-go-round as Meech is gonna fall as well. Talking about people going around the merry-go-round, he was trying to go around Banana, and they weren't able to hold him together. And so Lindenwood's gonna already be down 2 players. They haven't been able to answer for it just yet. E-Phantom tries to swing and get a kill, but it's actually going to be Maniac picking up another one. There's only 2 more players left here for Lindenwood. Clipped on the first floor is able to pick up E-Phantom to prevent that round from being the flawless. And so it's all to Clip here. His teammate is down. He walks up the white stairs. He's able to find one on a Maniac, but still, his teammate is down. He's all by himself. Juki's going to go ahead and finish him off, and there's 3 players left here. Moy's going to go ahead and get this bomb down and see if they can't finish off this round without losing any more bodies.
Clipped has to walk into the setup up the stairs through all of the rotates and the zombie traps or barriers that they have set up. It's going to go for these peeks in. The swing comes out, but takes out Tricks, and now it's a 1v2. This is entirely doable from Clipped. Has to walk in here, sees the diffuser, has to figure out exactly where the other players are playing, and is looking in just the right areas. Looks away from the rotate at just the worst time, and Boy Bajo finds the kill through the rotate, closes out the round.
It's that caster curse. You said he was looking in the right areas, and then he looks away. I promise it's real. It is. It is so real.
I know. Not my first rodeo, but I wish it were my last.
It's never. As long as you cast this game, timing. As you say something, and immediately either something else happens, or the team that you're talking about doing that quits doing it. It's the worst. It's so bad. But what wasn't the worst was that push coming out from Mimyu.
Yeah,
They did a good job of taking in and pushing in and taking control of Banana.
Absolutely agree with that. What do you believe is the adaptation here if you're Lindenwood? Was there too much offsite gameplay here? Was it just such a good coordinated push from Redhawgs that they have to go into something entirely differently? What do we got to do?
I don't think there is an adaptation. Here's the thing. I said it last map. I don't think round 1 is something that you really do much about. It is the round to get yourself on the map, get your feet wet, figure out how a team pushes, and realistically, the only thing that changes is morale. You may change an operator, go, oh, I'm not feeling this gun, or, oh, I realize that they're just ignoring this entirely, and it's not helping us, so we'll swap that operator, bring something else that I like. But realistically, you don't really change that much about how you play. You may adjust things here and there, but you're not going to fully change that strat.
Well, bringing in a famous phrase from the fighting game community, round 1 is just for info. Everything else is cake.
Absolutely.
You gotta get the information and then push in however you feel was comfortable for you last round. I mean, the onus at this point is on Lindenwood to determine how you pushed in and make adaptations off of that. And let's see how they do that.
Oh, adaptation is not going to happen for Meech. He's going to go ahead and fall. He's down 0-2 right now. And so he's going to be stuck on cams for the rest of this round. Maniac also not adapting, but Rain will. He's not going to fall this time. He's going to find one of his own. Moy's going to fall to him. He's going to get him as he's jumping in that window, but Maniac's still alive. He's still pushing, and he's still a threat here, and they're looking to see if he can't answer back for that kill.
Maniac loves pushing into lobby here. Trying to get pressure under the stairs is very solid, and if you can get that exact same push that you had last time, get up those red stairs and pressure anybody that is hanging out on the balcony there, you might actually have a chance of getting pressure onto site from the front, which is something that can be make or break. Oh, and breaking the head of Maniac is Rain. Constantly a star player. Tried to go for the trade on the window there, but didn't quite make anything happen out of it. I think that's best case scenario for Rain. Juki's still looking for the kill, though. Wants something to happen, ideally, before jumping in. You want to get a pick. Oh, E-Phantom, though, trying to trade against this shield. Oh, it's not going to happen. All while this fighting going down, Trix takes out Rain in that lower floor down there, and lobby pressure is entirely Redhawgs.
But they got to be careful. Clipped is sitting here on this blue stairs. E-Phantom's looking for him. I don't know if he heard him or if he's just looking via camps. excuse me, looking for people just walking around, making sure no one walks up behind him, but he's not gonna find him. Clips is also not gonna swing out, and so Phantom's gonna be able to walk away for free. Juki's still stuck over here on this rappel. They're hoping to clear out Wraithling and maybe swing directly in, but he could honestly just swing in by himself right now. I know he's not able to see the same thing that we see, but if he was able to push in, that could create a whole lot of pressure. There's only 2 players near the site, and if they can clear out Wraithling here, this could be a round for MU again. They are sitting at that 3-3 mark. 15 seconds left, and there he goes. Juki's going to be able to take him out. Wraithling's going to fall. Juki's still inside, looking for more bodies. Clipped and Zather off site. Bomb is going to go down, and they're looking for bodies, and it doesn't fall just yet. They're going to be able to stay alive. Zather is staying alive. Clip coming up behind him. He's going to be able to take out Phantom. He's going to Zathar's going to swing and take out Juki, and it's all up to Trix here to hold this round together. He has both teammates separated, but he looks away. No! Trix!
Oh no!
Trix!
Oh no! Oh no! Trix had to
Not
play.
like this.
Trix had everything they could have wanted.
No.
Thrown away. Wow, what a play. Honestly, I was a little surprised that Lindenwood came out with the W there. Wraithling did so much work in pressuring in those last 30 seconds to force MU to be scared to push onto site, but it felt like the other 2 players were off site, not creating that same pressure. I mean, they didn't know exactly where the attackers were going to push from for sure, but once Wraithling went down, suddenly site what belonged to the Redhawgs.
Fortunately, we're going to take a quick pause here. MU
Lost a player.
did lose a player, yeah. They also lost the round. It was rough.
A lot of losses.
They should have won that. Honestly, they should have won that. We're gonna jump to a rehost real quick. But like I said, they should have won that. You're up. Okay, so you're up 3-2. You have the man count. You have sight. Both players are sitting off. You have bomb down. And you lose the round because you're not looking at the correct places. You know what that tells me? What do they not have? Information. They don't have information. They didn't have drones set up. They didn't have anything. They didn't know where they were. I guess they were deaf. I got to turn on those headphones. Whatever it may be.
Yeah.
But they just couldn't.
Seems like the theme of the round for both teams, honestly. Lindenwood from last game, same situation, not having the drones available, not having the information despite having all the tools available to do that. And it's the same thing for MU Redhawgs this time. And it's not a good color. I think that especially on bank, like you were talking about, needing that extra coordination to push in. Coordination requires information, and it doesn't seem like they're putting a lot of priority on it.
Oh no, definitely not. It's one of the biggest parts of the game. It kind of pisses me off a little bit to see teams have 4, 5, 6 drones in pocket at the end of the round. If you, as an entry, aren't going to drone, because let's be honest, sure, you probably shouldn't be droning most of the time, but there are times when you have to drone. Throw it. Press 6 or whatever key you have it attached to. Look at a stairway and throw it. Whether it be down the hall, whether it be throwing it at a shield to see if there's have a teammate see if there's someone behind it, whatever it may be, use the information that you have, or at the very least place it down so your teammates can do it.
Yeah, you can honestly just throw it, and if it gets shot even immediately in the first second,
Information.
there's information. Exactly.
Yeah. Information. Either way. Yeah.
Crazy.
I don't know. When we come back to game, I want to see them take it a little bit slower. I think we're in round 5?
Round 4 or 5.
I might be miscounting. Anyway, they have at least one more round to go. You need this round. You need to take it and push yourself closer to that match point. Especially with how good of a performance you had in that last one. We finished off the last map 7-4. I want to say 7-4, something like that. Thank you. Yeah, 7-4. And going into your pick, playing like this, was it your pick? I mean,
Well, yeah,
was it
this
a,
is
was
not
it a
looking
force
like
pick?
the teams are not playing through their own picks
No.
as strongly as we would like them to be.
Yeah.
It is early in this game, but
Bro.
momentum is huge. So I don't know.
Yeah. It's hard to take. I think once again I gotta choose my words carefully so I'm not too mean to these teams. But I would like to see people not walk up spiral without a drone going up banana.
Mm.
I'm doing the what's his name? Dude from Paul Blart. What's his name? Oh god.
Kevin James.
Kevin James, thank you. I knew it was Kevin something. I was doing the shrug. But we're gonna go ahead and jump back to game. Oop, we accidentally forgot to get the bans. But they're gonna play fair and make sure that they don't play them. As we go into I lied. We're not even round
Round
4.
three.
It's round 3. I definitely can count. But it's gonna be plenty of time actually then to adapt right there.
Yeah, let's see what we get out of Lindenwood. As we're going to basement, we see, I love the Goyo pick. I think that's just a good, strong, solid anti-push and anti-plant pick. There's a lot of reasonable ways to play that, but this is exactly where I would be considering why the attackers are not seemingly prioritizing hatch play here. They do have 4 hard breach charges, and there's no anti-breach from the side of Lindenwood, but it's all very aggressive placements that need to happen here. So I don't know. I'll toss it back to you here because I want to get your thoughts on the team comps.
I think it's kind of conservative. I think I'm feeling like, oh no, I don't get time to talk. What I do get time to do is watch rain fall again. So it's not looking like a good day. It's a little cloudy right now for Lindenwood.
Yeah, this is not looking fantastic. However, Redhawgs need to be able to push in here. We're going to get the Jackal scan. We're going to be able to see where the smoke is playing. Zathar is just trying to keep pressure on the blue stairs here, despite there not being a whole lot of pressure on it right now. However, dropping down is Bajo, excuse me, Bajo, difficult one to pronounce, like you were saying. Trying to get that hatch pressure is going to be very important. They want to get this vert play. They're taking their sweet time, clearing out second floor into first floor. However, 1 minute and 30 seconds remaining, and Juki is still trying to get pressure.
Zathar swings out. Oh, he does find him. Manak tries to follow him, see if maybe he was walking back down the stairs, turned his back, but it doesn't matter. That shotgun just recently got buffed, and it shows why. It burst through him. Phantom clearing some of these charges that will be in the way of their plant here if they're not careful. He's doing a good job of making sure that they can get in for free because those are 25 seconds. So now with that down, they have 25 seconds to think about what they're going to do, prep themselves, and potentially walk someone down main stairs.
Absolutely. Love that analysis right there. Phantom doing the most as the top fragger and the utility player as well. Zathar's going to hold on to the blue stairs as long as possible. The bees come out, and Zathar decides to back up. I think that's the intelligent decision. Clipped is going to still hold this bottom of the staircase here. However, if they find that Clipped is there, Clipped does not have a great way to get back to sight without showing himself to the stairs here. Going for these jiggle peeks is Phantom, looking behind the server box, and Clipped is just playing slow. Oh, the timing, though. They are able to find it. Clipped is still alive. Took one out, but got traded back. 3 versus 2 on the attack. 12 seconds remaining, excuse me. They've got to get Diffuser. They do not have it in hand right now. They've got to run all the way over to get Diffuser. I don't think this one's happening for them. However, getting the peek out, goes for the dive, not quite getting the kill there. Meech takes out Tricks to close it out, and that fell apart so quickly.
I mean, it looked like they were doing pretty good there for a little bit, and then they kind of just fell apart. right at that point where I started talking about them doing a good job of clearing out those fires. I swear that the caster curse is real. Anyone who is a caster and tells me it's not a caster. They're just not a real person. They are definitely an AI. But anyway, let me stop talking about AIs. Talking about MU. Like I was saying, they were doing a good job of clearing it out, and I told them, take your time, potentially walk someone down main stairs. You have a minute. Most teams start their push at a minute, but just because you're waiting it out to 30 seconds doesn't mean that you can't push from somewhere else. Take a drone down main stairs, figure out you can't get down there, and then prep CCTV. Like, it is still part of your push to take CCTV. It is not fired off. Just walk down the stairs. Why are you standing at the top of blue stairs with 30 seconds left, finally walking down it? It's a time constraint that MU can't really get past, and it's causing them some issues in these rounds.
Yeah, I really like the smoke play from the last round for that exact reason.
Yeah.
Recognizing that you can't make that push in and instead playing a staller. It's fantastic. But getting into this round, we have a bit of a different game than we've seen so far. Clipped is playing the Maestro. A lot of complaints I know recently from with Brava being on the field that not in this round necessarily, but being able to basically take over Maestro camps and rendering the operator semi-useless is not something that we're seeing a whole lot because it's a team deathmatch meta. You don't have a whole lot of time to do that. Yes, you can join in with information and you can grab utility. However, you are at the whim of whether or not your team is going to get picked. In coordinated gameplay, you might be able to make it happen. Oh, but Maniac making it happen.
Maniac.
Taking out Mitch on the top floor. What a quick pick. But 4 versus 4. Yeah.
You know, I wanted to point it out in the middle of your rant. He's running the ACS 12.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's good, but ugh.
It's good, but it's not that good.
Yeah.
You have an LMG with no recoil, brother. Please run that. What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, Speedo, what are you doing? Raid is gonna get taken out. They're gonna find him through that window, just a little pixel of his head, but they're gonna find him. And so their man count drops towards MU as they finally clear almost all of the roamers. Wraithling, I can't tell. Is he first floor? Am I crazy?
So Wraithling is on first floor.
Oh, it is first floor. Ignore me. Thought it was bottom floor. I know they just won it. Don't know why I thought it was bottom floor.
We're playing in an open area right now, but a lot of pressure from above. Those hatches, so important, as you were saying before, taking Janitor Closet and stock trading to get the pressure down. They have the hatches. Oh, but Zathar gets wall banged. That's the Jackal difference. Maniac making plays here. This is why this operator is so commonly banned. What a pixel peek, though. What were you talking about that gun? Caster curse.
Clip. Someone clip that. I'm sorry, I had to. But I mean, 3 players left alive for MU. And Clip kind of just holding this crazy long angle. He's got to be careful, though. If anyone walks in from square, it could be his demise. He's not looking that way, and I don't believe Wraithling is either. I believe Wraithling is still sitting inside the cubicle. Yes, he is. He's sitting inside a printer right now, so he doesn't have any coverage at all on square.
Well, this is going to be a nice coordinated push, trying to get in to the admin office. And they're just going to walk through the rotate. Maniac just walking through. And so now we're going to get the cross here. But Wraithling takes out with a C4. That was surprising. I thought that maybe they wouldn't have a chance to. Wraithling gets another one onto Moibaho. But Trix trades one back versus Clipped. And finally takes Trix out as Wraithling holding it down with 1 HP left. The mute plays are big.
You know, I know it's only October, but Christmas time, I think MU might want to buy a watch. Pushing in with 15 seconds left.
Ugh.
For the 3rd time in a row. I mean, I'm not gonna say anything, but I'm saying a lot if you know what I mean. It's just MU. Come on. Come on.
I don't know about that one. Yeah, and the Maestro pick, by the way, did virtually nothing as far as like Maestro goes. Yes, you had the ACS and you got that clip. By the way, somebody should clip that and please overlay Enteritus talking
Saying
about
clip
how
that?
you have an
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
We're doing this now? We're doing this now?
No.
Let's hear this.
No, just kidding. But I was gonna say the reason that you might bring Maestro, I guess, if you're not going to actually actively use them, is as extra cameras. And Clip says, you know what, maybe that's a good idea, and just plays Valkyrie instead.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm kind of surprised they haven't been bringing it previously. It's one of the strongest operators, especially on this map. Also, is that a mistake? Wait, what?
It's some info.
That is a wild cam.
Oh, that's
What?
crazy. You see all of the entrance. Wait,
Yeah.
okay.
That is a wild cam. I thought that was a mistake throw. That is a
Wow.
crazy throw. Just prove me wrong very much. Let's just keep proving me wrong. Every time I say something about him, he proves me wrong. But right now, I want MU to prove me wrong. I need them to push in. And Maniac's been trying to do it, but honestly, I think Phantom needs to shoulder the blame here. He was an incredible part. Honestly, he was a crucial part of that last game. If they didn't have Phantom, I don't think they would have won it so handedly. He did a great job of pushing in and just taking the fights that he needed to do and getting space for them, and he's not doing the same thing. Manic's trying himself, but it's just not the same kind of impact. Speaking of Manic, Rain's going to take him out, and so they're already going to be down a body at 2 minutes left.
That's exactly what you said. Maniac has been the one having to take pressure when E-Phantom wasn't, but usually taking pressure blind on Ash. Yes, in the last few rounds, Maniac has gotten a couple of kills out, but, you know, breaking through Lone Office becomes predictable eventually. However, Maniac dies in slightly different fashion, but still dying, trying to get pressure on Lobby. Just good stuff. Good awareness from Rain. Oh! Good awareness from Rain to keep pressure on Lobby for that exact reason. But I don't know that they're going to get any more value out of that as the rest of the team is pushing from a different area. Oh, Bajuki goes down to Meech, and what is happening? Redhawgs trying to push in faster, trying to use their time more effectively, but unfortunately not using information alongside that's going to mean that the push is difficult. You're going to get taken out. 5v2.
C4 going out from Clipped. Trick's gonna throw a nade of his own. He's gonna get swung by Wraithling. He's not gonna find any bullets onto Trix. He's gonna try to use this to prevent himself from having any recoil. So all he does have to do is hold down just a little bit. He sees the gun poking out of Frost. He knows he's right behind that shield. He's just waiting, playing whack-a-mole here, just waiting for him to swing out somewhere. Where is he gonna go? Nowhere. There he goes. Trix is gonna be able to find him, but he's gonna take a little bit of damage from Clipped on the flank, who's not gonna be able to find anyone. He's gonna be able to deal some damage, but it's actually going to be Meech who is going to find Trix, excuse me. Words are a little hard there. But it's down to E-Phantom, and down goes E-Phantom. Lindenwood's going to be able to pick up round number 5 and put us one more round closer to that halftime.
That's beautiful rotational gameplay from Rain and recognition from Rain. Knowing exactly where the opponents are going to be pushing in from, creating presence there for as long as you can without it being problematic. Yes, you got one pick. Getting the second pick was gravy, then rotating back to assist your team. Having all of that pressure, by the way, I think that's incredible. Having all that pressure on that upstairs hallway, basically being able to get free rotates from balcony to skylight is just, I mean, it's so good. And they used it so beautifully. Great stuff from Lindenwood.
Absolutely. I think I'm inviting him to Thanksgiving. He's got the whole buffet coming with him.
But we're sitting right here at this 4-1 scoreline. Something I did not expect to see. I made a little bit of a mental prediction before this game that I thought this would be somewhere closer to, like, I don't know, like a 7-3 for going towards MU. But right now, I'm just wrong. That's all I can say. It is 1-4. We're about to swap into this half. But even if MU picks up this one, just the mental deficit of losing 4 rounds in a row, it's rough to get past.
I don't disagree with you there. Lindenwood has now brought the Mozzie along, which I think this is just beautiful, right? They brought the Kaid this time. They're in basement. They brought the Kaid for the hatches, and the only anti-Kaid tech on the side of Redhawgs is E-Phantom's Twitch. And Mozzie, with proper placement or at least proper awareness, can fully stop that in its tracks. So getting this vertical pressure might actually be really difficult for Redhawgs. We'll have to see.
And one thing I want to point out, they're currently sitting at only one person being positive. Rain's gonna pick up another one talking about positive players. Rain's sitting at 5-2 right now. Raytho's sitting at 5-0. And another death for Juki, who sitting 1-4. Trix is trying to find the player who jumped out, and he doesn't find him. Rain, no, you
Oh.
cannot let him do that. Please,
Oh,
please tell me that didn't just happen.
oh no. Are they gonna go for the big Saving Private Ryan play? Saving Private Rain.
Saving Private Rain. I don't think it's gonna happen. Unfortunately, I think they're gonna leave him to die. But it doesn't matter. Even if they don't go pick him up, they've already wasted a minute and a half. And MU's trying to use the advantage that they think someone's gonna go save Rain. But why would we? Mitch is gonna go pick up another one, taking down Maniac, who just tries to push down those stairs. But now it's up to ePhantom to push in for his team, and so far with the way he's been playing, it's not gonna happen. Maniac killing. Oh, he was downed. I was like, Maniac killing him from the grave.
Attackers have located a bomb.
he
Oh, man.
finally finished the bomb.
1 minute left on the clock, 4 versus 2. Redhawgs have to push in with just Ace and Twitch. Not able to get a whole lot of vertical pressure at this point in the game. 53 seconds, you actually have to start making some pressure on the same floor, but Boy Bajo goes down. It's all up to ePhantom, and they're got so much coverage on that staircase. You're really going to try to keep doing that, but you actually wind up getting one. Meech goes down, good down into the pistol, and then picking up the diffuser and dropping here is all that you could possibly do. Checking safe, checking sight. Oh, what a Wraith through the bomb. Wraithling takes out ePhantom, and that's what happens when you're at a person deficit and clock's running out.
I kind of want to make the prediction that Lindenwood wins this 7-1 so that MU comes back and we don't have to play a map 3. But it would be really exciting to see a map 3 because I don't think either team has played on console. No, not consulate.
Cafe, I think.
Cafe. No, they have. I lied. It was Border that they hadn't played on. But Cafe would be a really interesting one for both of these teams. So I don't know. I'm a little stuck between the two of them. But right now it's looking like Lindenwood's map. I don't know
It really
who showed
is.
up for MU. I don't know if they gave the controller over to their little brother, but I think they need to get back on the sticks if they want to not have to go to a map 3.
I think they lost all their comms. That's what it feels like, honestly. It's just that there isn't a whole lot of communication. No, not a lot of communicative effort. Not knowing what operators the opponents are playing when you're going into an attack round. I mean, that's super tragic. That's such like a a year 3 thing to do.
I wish it were year 3. I'm not gonna lie to you. That was my favorite year. That's when I started playing comp. I was having so much fun. Maestro had just been released. Yes. No. Year 4? 3? I think it was 3. I think it's 3 was when Maestro had been released. Oh, lovely Ubisoft glitch there, seeing through the floor. Hopefully no one else sees that except for us. That would be unfortunate. But yeah, I mean, I think that was a good point for Siege, where it was just enough utility heavy that you had to think, but you still had to have a gun. The recoil was still there, a lot more prevalent than it is today, and it was just a lot to mess with. But while I'm talking, Rain's not doing any talking. He's just walking down the main stairs, seeing if maybe he can't find his way into sight.
Yeah, that's great. Cleared so much space. I mean, blind is a little, risky, but still cleared a lot of space for your team. And now you have all pressure on the stairs when the opponents are trying desperately to hold right above basement. Wow, I mean, this is a great way to start off a side swap if you're Lindenwood. Creating so much space, forcing the opponents back, creating these holes, essentially just making sure that the defense has to play reactively as opposed to aggressively. However, the reaction is there. Maniac takes out the side of Rain, and that's going to be big issues with a minute 30 left on the clock and nobody on the basement floor. However, clearing that back up is Maniac taking out Meech, and it's 4-3 now.
I mean, it may as well be 4-2. Wraithling is sitting at basically no health, but he's also 6-0. He's doing a good job of staying alive, keeping that gun up, and Zathor kind of ratting in these elevators, making sure that they can't just walk out, walk back upstairs. And speaking of stairs, there's a player who just walked back down the stairs. Juki, yeah, Juki. He almost walked up the stairs, got him behind. But I'd like to point out, it's just not that site. Maniac's gonna walk in, take out flipped, and they still haven't figured out that the site is basement, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's exactly what the situation is, but if they can get pressure in here, Wraithling does have pressure of admin office. You suddenly have access to rotates and hatches. Rotates may not play in your favor as well as the hatch could, especially since you haven't quite cleared everything out yet. But you have to deal with one player on your floor. Trix is looking, searching for Wraithling, and all it takes is one bullet, but to the head didn't even matter. Zathor, also a bullet to the head, takes down Trix. And Zathor is the last alive for Lindenwood. 1v3 push in, 12 seconds remaining. And what are you going to do? You choose not to drop the hatch. And so you're just going to wait it out. KD player, just kidding. Not saying that for real. Yeah, I'm not sure what the play is here, but dropping down and getting your feet shot by a vector is probably the only thing that you could do.
I see a lot of teams, what they'll do is they'll, instead of dropping and I guess technically playing the KD, which cringe. But what they'll do is they will literally walk outside and just stop looking at the game. They will take a second, whether that's take a mental break, whatever it is, and go, okay, what went wrong in that map? Watch. What went wrong in that last round? And why could we not clear out the players sitting inside of open area while we had drones and floor holes? I mean, come on.
Yeah, not the hottest way to start that off. You know, doesn't feel great. But up 5-2 still. Lindenwood has another opportunity here to make a play. The bomb site is now open area. They got a lot of experience in the last round breaching into open area. So hopefully that actually comes into play here. A lot of the same operators still have Castle alive. Mute's going to come out to actually, deal with some of that hard breach on the walls there. Mozzie still making a presence. Moy Bajo playing that dock again. Very interesting. But we're going to hopefully, I hope this actually gets locked in. And it is. We're going to see Rain playing Ram. And I imagine we're going to be seeing a lot of people trying to play Presidents. Or right above.
So, I don't know. I still don't know how I feel about open area. I come from comp year 3 to 5-ish, where if you played open area, you're trolling.
Yep.
And this meta, it doesn't really matter that much what site you play, except for bar on Clubhouse. If you play that, you're actually trolling.
Yeah.
But what's not trolling is Rain finally picking up a opening kill. So he's going to be able to take out E-Fandom. Rain's going to drop into CEO with that floor open. I'd be very careful doing that. But I guess it got him a kill. So he's going to look to see if he can't find another kill as he opens up more and more, maybe hunting down this player sitting inside of Archives right now.
Yeah. Oh, what a shot! Unfortunate the shorty is going to get you a little bit of opening down there, but it's also going to reveal your presence to the enemy players. This damage has been done, though. A lot of verticality being opened up here means that, there's a little bit of restricted movement from the side of defense on Redhawgs, but they still have one player down there making so many moves. Maniac is making it look like the Ram was his play. Finally getting taken out by Zathor, but so much. I said the damage has been done from offense with the breaching vertical, but the damage has been done from the side of Maniac. Just incredible stuff.
From both sides, honestly. Not just from Maniac. They did a good job of not letting them keep that man advantage. Even though they did lose E-Phantom pretty early, and lost Maniac, they were able to trade for both Rain and Meech with a beautiful kill coming out from Juki. He retook that Archives, used that open floor to kill him, and prevented him from opening even more of the floor. I think, does Ram have only 2? I think Ram only has 2, so he may have used both of his. I can't remember if it's 2 or 3. But time ticking. They're still running into this issue of time being wasted, kind of from both sides. We're sitting at 30 seconds left, and they should have already started initiating. Zathor is gonna die to a player sitting on main stairs. Clip's gonna see if he can find his way back in, and they got 20 seconds to work with.
20 seconds left. Trying to breach into admin office. There is a rotate there, and Clipped is going to try to find a pick through it before jumping in. But with 12 seconds remaining, it's going to be a little bit difficult. The defenders are playing safe, saying that you can take admin office. That's nothing to sight. And that's exactly what happened. Juki gets a kill there, and it's 3-1 with the last player trying to push in. But Wraithlin can only find one pick onto Trix. Doesn't actually make anything else happen there. Too little, too late is the name of the game for both of the maps that we played so far.
I think I finally kind of figured it out. The difference between this map and the last one, border does not require as much coordination. And I think we were seeing kind of an artificial coordination of them not playing with each other, or not playing off of each other, but with each other. So what I mean by that is, generally when you see someone playing off of them, they're setting themselves up to trade whoever's creating pressure. Versus when you're playing with someone, you are walking in either together or in a room nearby, and you happen to be in the right place to get a trade. It's not that you're setting yourself up. You just are getting lucky because you're putting yourself nearby them, but not playing alongside them.
That makes sense to me. That's great analysis, and I hope to see the adaptation come out. However, we're 8 rounds in. Lindenwood is 2 rounds away from winning. It's just going to require them to make that adaptation, like you said, and create some space. Get that coordination happening a little bit earlier. Otherwise, the Redhawgs are going to make this look like a really defender-sided map. And I mean, it's not defender-sided, but you know, with almost, I'd say like, is it 7 out of the 8 rounds? It's either 7 or 6 out of the 8 rounds have been won on the side of defense. It's not looking great for Lindenwood.
Yeah, I mean, we were at, what, 5-1, so you got 6. 6 of the 8 have been defense, because we were at 5-1 in the half. And so Emu's won 1 on defense and 2 on defense and 1 on attack.
So 7.
Anyway. Oh, see, you're right. I definitely can do math. I promise I can do math.
The point stands, though. 7 out of 8 rounds.
Yeah. 7 out of 8.
That's crazy.
Definitely. And that kind of shows just how little coordination we're really seeing. Defense doesn't require nearly as much, and so you can kind of only worry about it as a roamer, versus your entire attacking team needs to worry about being able to work off drones, making sure your drones are in the right place, after all, and setting yourself up to play off of the information. After about 5 seconds, 5 to 10 seconds, information half the time is dead. Just because someone was there 5 seconds ago doesn't mean they're anywhere nearby. Speaking of information, I don't think they have any information on this player in blue. This could be very deadly for Lindenwood.
Yeah, Maniac is holding down the blue staircase, and with 7 drones still available, I would find it hard to believe that Maniac actually makes this happen here. And this blue stairs is a great place to hold, but unfortunately just chooses to rotate out. Doesn't want to play that too risky, and so the wall breach on Presidents is going to go to Lindenwood, getting a strong opening on this upper floor.
With office open now, they can't really play it as much. They have those 4 holes underneath to prevent the plant, but I don't believe they have anyone at all playing underneath. What's the point of those if there's no one there to use them? It almost feels like you're setting up your attackers to use them post-plant. Kind of questionable. But what's also questionable is how we are still at a 40 seconds left, and the first kill is finally going out, as Clips is going to pick up Trix. And they're still working on this entry, but they haven't even been able to make their way into sight. They have 30 seconds left, and Meech trying to hold off on those windows.
25 seconds left is, you want the kills to go to the side of attack, and in 5 versus 3 with 20 seconds remaining, it's still looking okay for the attackers. However, the defenders are going to have to make something happen. Maniac is on the staircase in the hallway there, has to rotate back to site. The diffuser is down, and this is going to be an easy hold for Lindenwood. It's really going to be difficult for Redhawgs to get back in there. Boy Bajo is stuck in that closet. E-Phantom does find a trade back onto Rain, and it's 4 versus 2 now. This is possibly doable. All they need is one more pick and then a concerted effort to push through. However, Moibajo is dealing with track stingers while there's only 20 seconds left to defuse the bomb. They have so much work to do to get forward in here, trying to vault through, but Clipped has that hold down, and Zathor swings to take out Moibajo. Great attack, and maybe that's the caster's dream, the caster's blessing. That was an incredible adaptation to exactly your point.
I hate to trash on them after an excellent post plant, but I'm going to be completely honest. They shouldn't have won that round. They shouldn't have been able to get that plant done. Where were the defenders? We had one person playing in janitor who didn't prevent the plant, didn't call for the plant, I guess didn't hear the plant, anything. He was sitting on soft walls, could have shot through them and killed them, but he never called for it. They had one in elevator who wasn't even holding the hallway. He was just holding the walk up from spiral. And you had one main. You knew that someone was on the rappel. You knew your teammate just died. Why are you not retaking conference? Why are you sitting there waiting for the plan to go down?
Yeah, the pressure and the ability to hold down that hallway means very little if you're not actually using it as a rotational option. Even with gridlock, like the track singers being down right outside of the closet, you still have a lot of space that you can take. You have a lot of visibility to that area. And so it was weird to see that gameplay from Redhawgs in that round, where you had the Valkyrie who was playing blue stairs, chose to abandon blue stairs, despite its probably would have been very helpful pressure later into that round, abandoning it, rotating all the way around to the staircase by the hallway, and then just not being able to utilize that at all.
I don't think it was a horrible plan to drop back from that blue stairs. It's really hard to play off of those barriers, or not the barriers, the rails. It's really hard to get a kill, unless you were like Shaiko. You're not consistently doing that. So getting that damage and backing off wasn't a horrible idea. He could have thrown a C4 or something instead of shooting. There were obviously things he could have done. But I think the issue was more in the fact that he just stood there on the top of white stairs.
Yeah. Entirely fair thing to say. It felt like everything was moving in slow motion for the defenders, despite the clock ticking down in normal time for Lindenwood.
Yeah. Anyway, we're here at the potential last round of the half. We're at match point now. Or last round of the game, excuse me. We're at match point now. All the players are still alive. Kind of not questionable anymore, because that seems to be happening in every round. I guess they don't want to take gunfights. They're a little gun shy. But they've been at least using their drones a little bit more effectively, opening up these hatches, preparing themselves for a push that's not going to come for another 45 seconds, if I know them correctly. Waiting nearby with a shotgun around this corner. If Meech drops this hatch, he's falling to Juki unless Juki misses.
Meech made a lot of space there without droning, just walking in. Opening up that hatch early on is fantastic, but like you said, it's about whether or not they're going to use that to push in a reasonable time frame. With 1 minute left, Meech can't drop that without having droned it out and understanding where the enemies are, or possibly even pressuring Juki off of the hold. So Meech is just holding there. Finally drops it because it's fired off. That was a smart move. It can't swing you when you drop. If you fire it off, that's why you play Capital. Maybe that decision could have come about 20 seconds earlier, but maybe you were waiting for your team to get in position. We'll find out if that holds true. Meech does find the kill onto Juki, and there's a coordinated push now in red. They are trying to get some opening into B site. Zathor takes out Maniac, and this is looking good for Lindenwood. Moibajo trades one back out onto Clipped, but E-Phantom also making a lot of work happen. There's so many trades going out so quickly. Meech takes out Trix, and the diffuser is live. Great stuff from Wraithling, though, to flank off of the backside there. E-Phantom solo holding now in safe. Here's the opponents, and wants to swing this right now. Have a whole diffuser's worth of time in a 1v3 with full health. You might be able to make something happen. Let's find out.
Only 30 seconds, but that's 10 seconds a kill, and that's going down. Down to 8 seconds. He gets 1. He's got 11 seconds per kill now. Only 2 players to work with, but one of them is in a really advantageous position at the top of those stairs. He doesn't know where the others are. He's going to go ahead and finish off that kill against Meech. There's one holding him from the top. If he goes for this, he's going to start getting shot at, but he's actually going to find the kill. E-Phantom's going to pick him up, but he doesn't have any more time. He's done for, unless he can get back there in time. He swings and gets it. No way. It doesn't matter, though, because he runs out of time. And so, Lindenwood's going to go ahead and finish our half right there, 7-3.
Incredible stuff. Very, very solid gameplay from Lindenwood. And you would think that, we had the map picks wrong for which team picked which one. We're going to go to a map 3, which is always exciting, but I was not anticipating the map picks to go for either opponent's side. It's just the nature of them not having played against each other this season.
I mean, yeah, but they've played against a team, specifically Trine. Trine? I think I said that right. Who, they've lost to both of them, but they were close. I just like to say, where did I put it? I had it somewhere here. Yeah. So, Trine, or MU played Trine week 3, lost Cafe 7-8, which they're about to go into. Putting that out. Oregon 6-8. So really close games, both overtime games. And then, sorry, gotta reach for more. Going into week 1 for Lindenwood was 7-8 Cafe, also close. So both teams played really close. It should be a really close one. And then Oregon 2-7. So maybe they should have kept Oregon alive. I don't know about you. I would.
Not sure what that was about. I'm not sure
yeah.
What
but from that last game, there was definitely a lot for MU to figure out, and I really was not happy with any of it.
No, definitely not what we wanted to see from MU from their own map pick. It was that coordination, like you said. It was very defender-sided for a while, but Lindenwood found some semblance of coordination that made it feel like MU didn't know how to properly play defense on the map pick that they selected. It was a little bit of this and a little bit of that, which, it never feels good to lose on that when there's like 3 or 4 things that you probably could have done better. But, you can't think about that going into map 3.
No. Speaking of map 3, we're going to take a quick break before map 3, but we will be back soon with more action.
Welcome back to Midwest R6 Week 5. We're getting into map 3 of Lindenwood versus the MU Redhawgs. Cafe is the map. It was one of my personal favorites. What are your thoughts?
Bring up the notes again. Just give me one second. Did I say it? It is. I don't know. I honestly don't know how this should go. It could go either way. I know I already said it, but both took Trine, the team that they played, to 7-8, which means they didn't give up a single round without fighting. Now, keep in mind, I couldn't find the VODs, wasn't able to see the game. I don't know what mistakes Trine made. I don't know what mistakes they made. But if they play the same way that they were playing in that last game, I don't know. I want to see I want to see game 1 MU versus game 2 Lindenwood. That is what I want to see.
I would agree with that. That would make for the best game, in my opinion.
Yeah.
They're both going to a map, like you said, that they've played even-ish games on. And I think that Cafe allows for, and this is my personal opinion, because of how long Cafe has been around and how long it's been since it's had a change, the meta for Cafe has evolved so much. People are playing Cafeteria site a lot more than they used to whenever Cafe first got reworked. And the meta has just developed so much. There's so much creative expression in how you build out your comps, how you build out your destruction that can make defense very interesting, but also so many angles and ways to attack that I want to see which team is going to come with more creative expression. And then from there, adaptations, whatnot. But creativity is the name of the game for me.
I don't know if we're going to see it, but for some reason, I've seen a lot of teams start playing mining. I don't understand it. Don't get me wrong. I have zero clue why anyone does it, but it's started to become somewhat popular. And I don't know if it's like, oh, no one knows how to attack this, so let's defend it and say whatever, screw it. I don't know. But we're gonna go ahead and start at least ban Sledge. I guess. I don't. Azami going off the board, understandable. I almost. Oh, you know what? I feel like that was a target ban. Phantom played a lot of Sledge in that last round.
That tracks. That definitely tracks. Sledge only being like the, what is this, like 14th most popular ban in this league. I would much more likely lean to it being a target ban. The other 3 bans are very standard, very expected. I definitely expect to see, in my humble opinion, I would want to see more Dokkaebi gameplay. It's available, and Cafe is such a building heavy map where getting inside early isn't difficult. Maintaining inside is scary. So I don't know if that's what we're going to see. Well, right now it's currently locked in, but anything can change, especially when you start to see the, opponent operators. Thorn coming back out, by the way.
Speaking of that inside, I think this may be current. So it is now, but it used to be Villa, the heaviest droning map in the game. Night Haven may take it. Consulate, don't even get me started on Consulate. I don't consider it a map. If I played comp still, that's getting banned immediately. It's a terrible map.
You don't like the rework?
No.
10 seconds left.
Not at all. Not at all. My silence spoke words.
5 seconds to go.
Anyway, getting into this first round, we're gonna see a spawn peek coming out from Rain. Get that over the shoulder cam. Aw, get that over the shoulder cam maybe, so you can see. Nah, we gotta get a first person of him. I really hope he gets spotted and gets shot. It'd be kind of funny, but it looks like he's not going to. They're actually not gonna go there. If he'd chosen a better window, he may have found one. But no pickups for Rain just yet.
Yeah, better window or a sharper angle might have been nice, but Cafe is that kind of spawn peak heavy map, especially when opponents are going to constantly spawn Christmas Market. It's just like one of the best spawns in general to get like a good siding on the building. It has so many great entry points. Oh, interesting. Okay, using a drone to... Okay, and both drones are down very quickly. So drone heavy map, you were just talking about that, but so many drones just got Well, I guess only 2, but 2 drones just got removed immediately.
I definitely think the new anti-drone gadget kind of plays an interesting role in this map. Look how honestly, this is a perfect example. If you look, obviously you can't see it right now. Oh, what you can't see is
wow.
Raid picking up the first one on the Juki. Beautiful shot for him. But right here, he's able to sit here and honestly one of the worst spots in Cigar Lounge, simply because the drones can't spot him. They're finally going to be able to spot him as one of them's going to fall, but they're not able to get any information outside of this jump in, so they just have to take a shot at it, see if they can't figure out their way in, and pray that E-Phantom can give them the support that they need to be able to jump in.
Ooh, yeah, dead on with your analysis right there. I don't know how the attackers got... Oh my goodness, I don't know how the attackers got so many people onto red stairs so quickly, but they're falling like flies. Yes, Rain gets traded back, but at the cost of 3 players on the side of Redhawgs, it's 4v2. So having that space in red stairs means very little at this point because you don't have any counterattacks or any other prongs of attack coming from anywhere else on the map. Trix is pushed in here, but you've still got Moibaho below, not quite far enough up to help you out. So you're just hoping to fish for picks and hoping you don't get swung.
We'll see if he wants to swing. They do have to find 2 by themselves apiece. Meech is a little bit low on health, but he isn't dead just yet. Clip's gonna go for the flank, but Trix is gonna find his first one that he's looking for. He's gotta find another one. He sees the head! Trix! He takes out Meech. Zay's down. It could be around for for MU. He's gonna walk in, but Raything's gonna take him out and maybe take away these chances of them being able to find it. But they're not gonna find it just yet, as currently my free feed is frozen.
Oh, gotta go for the plant here. Wraithling's gotta just push up. But yeah, defenders are gonna take that one. Unfortunate stuff. That looked like it was going to be a big comeback, but closing it out for the side of defense in a very strong fashion was Lindenwood. It was looking really, really scary for a moment there. That was an effective 2v1 that was turned around very nicely by Wraithling.
Sorry about that. My lovely cat decided to pull on my Ethernet cord in the middle of me talking. I was like, why is my feed frozen? We're good. We're good. We're good now. Just a little bit of technical issues. But
Attackers need to
that round should not have been that close. I mean, you're up 4-2. Clipped, I can get what you're doing, but you're up 4-2. Just stay alive. You have what? I think it was like, what, 30 seconds left? Something like that? 45, 30 seconds left? They have to find 4 of you. And so your first choice is, let's swing. Let's solo swing. At the very least, please, swing with someone. If you're going to swing, swing with someone. Find a buddy. Find a swinging buddy. And they're just not going to. Giving away bodies, almost giving away a whole round. I'm not sure. I didn't get to see the kill against Zathor. Zathor, whatever it is. But it could have been a round for MU that shouldn't have been that close.
100% agree with exactly what you said there. We're going down to the first floor. The cafeteria, like we talked about before, keeping kitchen service, that freezer hold is going to be pretty big. They do have the Kaid coming out to deal with the hatch and the wall in freezer, so it's going to come down to how they choose to approach, and to the roof is where everybody on Redhawgs are going. What were we talking about before, though? We were talking about spawn peaks, and Rain got one, but got traded back out. E-Phantom takes him down. We're in a 4v4, and we're effectively resetting neutral, as they might say in the fighting game.
I don't know if it'd be neutral. The man count may be neutral, but if you look at those funny little numbers just above their operator pictures, you see a difference in the 2 different numbers? just a little bit. Rain's been making a big impact in the game. The only other player who's gotten a kill so far is Wraithling. So losing like that, I'm not gonna say anything.
We'll find out. The proof will be in the pudding. They drop down into train. They want to get pressure right above in Fireplace to get that freezer hatch, ideally, if they can. I don't know if they actually have the tools to do so with Kaid on the enemy team, but I'm sure they'll find that out soon enough. It doesn't look like they care too much, because what they really want is the vertical openings right above the kitchen, and Ram is going to make that possible. Minute 20, and Vert is fully opened.
Still coming down to that time, though. Like, I feel like we need to give them an extra minute so that they're ready to finally push in when it's not 15 seconds left. I mean, we're not gonna do that. Don't get me wrong. But I want their coach to just stand behind them every game and just at a minute just point at his clock, point at his little watch. Because we're sitting here at 50 seconds left. They're still trying to make their way down red stairs, and I mean, generally, if you watch high level like pro play, they're starting to push right now. They are walking into sight for a reason. Watch, I'm calling it right now. He's gonna walk. He's gonna get taken out. So they're gonna try to find the player over here, but they're just gonna run into more people. And because they don't have time, they're going to start collapsing and just trying to push into sight. And there it starts. Phantom's gonna start trying to clear this player in bar. Maniac is gonna try to get his way into here, but he's gonna run into the gun of Wraithling just sitting there wasting time. Clip, what are you doing? Please get out of bakery. Please.
Oh no, and it's all coming apart. However, Wraithling goes down to Maniac, and Maniac is trying to get the plant down right now. Defenders win. Was that the Echo?
No, that was the Echo. If he was an Echo, what I said absolutely stands. But I mean, that should not be the way you win the round. It is okay if you're in a 1v1 and you know, hey, I know roughly where he is. I need to take this. I need to not take this fight. But he played to do that. He was trying to make sure that they couldn't push prep. But, I mean, they weren't. You heard them in Red Hall. Like, they don't have time to walk through. If they walk through prep, they're done before, like, time will run out before they get through it. They don't have the option. You have to take a second. Oh, let me rotate to prep. At the very least, rotate to prep. Because if your thing doesn't work, and he had gotten that off, he not only had time to rotate, but he also had time to reconfigure yourself and take a second, and maybe jump behind Coffee. And, like, take a second and go, okay, now I know where Echo is because he shot at me while I was rotating, or I heard him while I was rotating, or even, like, walk out towards Red Hall and do the same thing. You're giving your opponent way too much time to reset because you want to sit in bakery and stay alive.
Yeah, that was a questionable decision to be sure, and it did happen to work out for Lindenwood. So, you know, I guess no fault, or, you know, no harm, no foul, but I don't know if that's going to work going forward. 2 victories on defense, though, means that they do have to go to a first floor site, or excuse me, a second floor site, and they're choosing to go to Reading Room Fireplace. So ignoring mining altogether, which I'm sure is, you know, that's something that you were hoping for. And we are, we have an interesting setup here, excuse me. Not to just babble on, but Fenrir is holding down actually a lot of the hatches. Putting the Fenrir on Skylight and playing upstairs is a nice little angle here, but they have to control the Vert if they want any chance at holding the site.
I'm sorry, did I just see him repelling with a Gone 6? Tell me I'm not seeing that correctly.
Nope, that's what you saw.
Anyway, Maniac's gonna find the first one onto Wraithling, and that's a great early pick. He can't rotate any of those Fenrirs anymore, and so if he can, if they can find all the ones that are currently active, then all his gadgets gone. Rain tries to hold a little weird off angle, but Maniac knows he's there. I think you heard him shuffling around a little bit, and there are 4 players top floor who are attackers. They're gonna drop. Try to take this, but they're going to run into a player clipped on the bottom of White Stairs. Meech is going to find one on a Maniac, and that's all the pressure they had on this site. They can't drop into Laundry because they know he's sitting there holding that hatch.
what happened? They had the player advantage, they had everything that they wanted, and then they just decided to take a little bit too much space and got eaten for it before actually clearing stuff out. Doesn't matter at the end of the day, though, because Trix does take down Meech, and they have the player advantage once again. They still have a lot of space that they need to clear. They do have control of white stairs, which is always beneficial, and upstairs, so that they know that the only thing they have to worry about is further below or down the hall. But they have to get further in if they want a chance to push this through. With Iana and 5 drones on the board, they're going to be able to do just that. Clearing out mining first, and then checking A site to ensure that nobody's on it means that you can drop the hatch safely, and that's exactly what they want to do.
30 seconds left. Juki is going to walk into sight and see that player who's sitting there holding that little Yana, or holding that little corner that Yana's holding. Juki's actually going to be putting the bomb down here. Clip's going to find one onto Moy. He's looking for him through the wall. He doesn't find him, though. Juki's able to stay alive. Trix is going to fall to Zathar, who tries to get another one, but he's not able to find it. It's all up to Clip. But Juki is him. Clip was not able to juke that one, and so MU is gonna pick up another round.
He barely saw him through that tiny little hole in the wall, and then says, okay, I know exactly what you are. Shoots him, takes it out. I was like, this is the high pressure situation. It's a 1v2. Okay, you got one. You have to immediately respond. Be ready for this. Oh, he's dead.
Juki's him. I mean, that's really all I can say. But so I took a little mental screenshot. I want to say it was like 13 seconds. Do you know who I saw on Gridlock with a cam in pocket and 3 Gridlocks in pocket? Trix. Come on. You didn't have one on brown stairs. You had one on white, but it was like the worst place on white because no one's taking top floor. You didn't have one on red. Why are you playing the operator?
You have the drone to clear space for yourself so you can get close enough to sight to throw the track stingers. Or you have the track stingers to clear out areas that you're worried about so that you can push down safely and get more information. Neither thing happened.
I mean, it's something that, like, I hate to say it, but MU, what are you doing? What are you doing? Who is coaching you? Because, yikes. Please, VOD review this. Listen to my words. Start using your utility. You cannot have drones in pocket at the end of the round, have full gadget in pocket. You're playing that operator for a reason. Use it. Please use it. If you want to become better as a player, you have to make sure that you are using everything you have in your kit to your advantage.
And they said,
Speaking
you
of
know what,
advantage.
Juki, you take it. Juki's now
There
already
there
thrown it out.
He heard me. Let's go.
So quickly. We love to see it. 2 track stingers down already. It's going to be helpful to have on that floor. Just preventing full rotations is so fantastic, and also preventing your flank is great. But you basically get free information from having those down to know exactly where the opponents aren't at any given time, and if they choose to shoot them, where they are. It's just a really solid tool to use. You don't have to be close to sight to use them, and that's just exactly how you want to see them used. Juki taking those last 2 kills off of the last round, feeling so powerful, and continuing to show presence on this one. Zathar, almost got grenaded through, but stands on top of the desk. Getting shot, but missing all of the bullets. They know he's up here. Oh, but Trix gets taken out. What a shot. Oh, speaking of what a shot. Oh my goodness. Moy Bajo peeks that. Gets him down. They've got to know that he's down right now, right?
I don't know. I think they hear him. I think they're gonna find it, but come on. You can't give him a free kill like that. You do not have to finish it off. He is in the worst place possible. They're not saving him. Leave him there. Drone him out. Something. Stop walking 4 people into a breach and just taking it. I know it wasn't 4, but 2, come on. Do you need 2 people to take down someone who is downed?
You're entirely right about that. They did get that wall opened up by Red Stairs, which is always nice to have that rotational advantage into Cigar Lounge. However, they just didn't get any pressure into it because they didn't drone. So they have somebody now in Cigar Shop, but they're always going to have to worry about somebody peeking the door in White Corridor.
They're going to go ahead and clear out some of this utility that's preventing them, but they still have that smoke canister. Finally, after 3 rounds, LU is bringing a smoke, but they're also bringing some heat. His body's falling left and right. He's getting into default plant, but he's not going to be able to do anything. Meech is going to find himself a quad kill, and Zathor finishing off that round in beautiful style.
Meech just quietly making big plays there. 4 kills from just having presence and presence of mind. That's incredible.
How do you feel about this this kitchen here?
Yeah, I think it's good. I think that they had an idea that they didn't execute on well last time in Kitchen. But the big thing that actually happened is that they were able to keep full control of Freezer Wall and Hatch. And that could have played in big if they didn't lose so many operators so early on. So I fully expect, yeah, they brought the Mute, they brought the Kaid. I fully expect Redhawgs to need to bring some sort of anti-utility if they want any chance to get pressure on Freezer, or they're going to be at the whim of attacking from every other angle, which is not optimal.
Absolutely. And I mean, I also feel like their backup plan, I know I kind of trashed on it in that last time they played it, but their backup plan of Echoes sitting here and waiting and then bringing out a Cam, please, for the love of God this time, at least rotate yourself closer to site.
Definitely agree with that. They haven't really set up too much here. They are, wanting to get the outside set up before they set up the site, which is normally very fine. However, they doesn't look like they're going to be in the positions that they want to be in by the time that Redhawgs get in. However, Redhawgs is taking it slow, and I think that's a smart thing to do. They've had to worry about spawn peaks before, and so they don't want to, just shove their faces in the site.
No, I mean, they did a good job of not just throwing bodies at their problems most of this map. Something they struggled with a little bit in that last one. They've kind of cleaned up this time around. But as I say that, he's just gonna drop Red Hatch and walk in. I don't know if I'm wrong, but I don't see a drone. I don't see a drone. I don't see a drone. Where are the drones? Please. Use the drones. Oh, they're all shot apparently.
Wow. Okay, so they're getting some pressure on the 3rd floor here. This is the type of thing with approaching on 1st floor that there's just so many defenders that could be in so many different places. That actually almost came to bite Lindenwood in the ass last time that they played Kitchen.
Yeah.
However, it only matters if Redhawgs has like a straightaway to sight.
Now, I've been talking a little bit about their utility usage. I just want to point out, Ethan still has both his drones in pocket. Please, you have a 6 key. I think it's functional. Use it. I've seen him throw a cam before. They're gonna find one, not off of the fact that they used a drone, but off the fact that he shot one. Trix is gonna find one of his own, and so far it hasn't mattered in this game. He's just gonna be able to jump in. They're gonna try to clear this player sitting inside a Kochek, throw a nade, but he's gonna try to jump out to save himself, and he's gonna die to E-Phantom, who's just walking in now. Another one falling.
Yeah.
Mitch is gonna find Maniac, and Meech looking for some more. He's gonna be the last one alive. He's getting hunted down left and right, and Juki's gonna find him, and MU's gonna pick up round number 6.
What was that? What happened?
5, 6, something like that. 5. What happened?
Yeah, what happened?
How about I talk about what didn't happen? Lindenwood didn't shoot back. I don't know if you know, Lindenwood. You have these funny little mouse 1 and 2 keys. If you hold down, so here, just a little tip. So if you look at your monitor and you hold down right click and you put the crosshair on their head and press left click, they die.
Wise words.
Feel free to this is totally free coaching. Absolutely free coaching. Take that advice. That's all you gotta do. That's how you win this game. Just left click or right click, point, Left click.
I love that they're going back to kitchen and cafeteria.
After losing
and-
it horribly.
Well, that aside, they brought the bandit. Like, reinforced walls were the reason they lost that. Like for
No,
whatever reason,
you
they
know what
didn't have
else?
enough. Like, or 3-speed. Maybe you didn't roam enough. You roamed too much.
You know what's better? Bringing a Jaeger and putting it in a closet, like that's the reason they lost.
No. I didn't even see that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he put 2 ADSs in the closet. Like that was the reason that they died. The nade didn't even make it in the closet. This is the best part. It went in the hallway. He missed it. He had no reason to jump out of the window. Anyway, that was last round.
And speaking of last round, this is the last of the half. As Lindenwood's going to try to defend, once again, Redhawgs push in onto cafeteria. Right now, we're seeing a lot less spread out of the defenders, which I think is ultimately a good thing. They're not playing a whole lot. I don't think they're playing anybody currently on 3rd floor, although it looks like Rain's making his way up. Trade, just raw trade between E-Phantom and Rain. I think that's pretty good. You know, E-Phantom wanted to take a lot of space. Rain was able to shut that down. It could have been more effective, maybe, but it's what you needed in this moment. Unfortunately, we still have Maniac clearing out right above site here with the Ram, and getting that vert started with 1:40 remaining, and getting the fuse charges down to clear out Freezer. It's good, but is it going to matter if you can't, breach down?
Yeah, I think they've been doing a really good job of taking both the RAM and the fuse to give them so much space and clear of something I think is one of, if not the biggest site in the game. In the comp pool, in the comp pool. I think the only one that would fight it would be no, because it's not in the comp pool anymore. I don't know. I think it might be one of the biggest ones. And they're using it to kind of give themselves an advantage.
Yeah, that's entirely fair. So far, as we've been talking, about a minute has passed with the ceiling above kitchen and freezer that's been open. They finally rotate back down here to break open the wall because the fuse charges were able to break the bandit and Kaid trips. But they have 30 seconds left, so essentially they're opening up the small portion of the wall and they're going to push into freezer with their opponents fully knowing what their plan is, because they don't have any pressure on the front side of A side either. So it's just going to be going for kill trades here, and kill trades is exactly what's happening. 3-3 now. Another one goes down. Meech is holding this down, but gets traded back out. Clipped finds Maniac too, and now it's 2v1. Lindenwood is up, 1 player, 12 seconds remaining. Trix has to get on site. He's in there, but he's got to find the one. But what a spot from Wraithling. Prone to get the kill with that beautiful shotgun that he loves so much.
Okay. I want to get your opinion on this.
Okay.
You are Lindenwood. You have a minute left in the round. You got hatch open. I think it was 45 seconds they started opening up freezer wall. You have the option of red wall because you could just open it with a ram. And you have floor holes open above. Where do you put your 4 players?
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
That's a great question. I'm not a good player, so I'm going to answer this to the best of my analytical ability.
Yeah. Give it, just throw out a wild guess there. Where would you put the 4 people?
I would say probably one above. You said a minute remaining still?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one above, and then I'd probably rotate one to the front of A to try to get some pressure on that side, and then I'd send 2 down to break open the freezer wall and possibly bust through.
So why was there no one upstairs?
Because they were feeling the time pressure, I guess.
They wasted a minute and a half clearing the top floor, or opening the rams, using it out to push them outside of coffee and freezer. So you know where they are? Their bakery and their site. So why are you not using your vert?
I hear your disappointment as though it is
My
own
disappointment is
father.
immeasurable.
As though it is
My
my
disappointment
own
is
father.
immeasurable.
As
You
as
bring the
if it is my
operator.
own father and I am 15 years old. I feel it in my
I'm gonna
bones.
start yelling to hold the flashlight better. Like, I just, it's minor things like this. It's things that in year 8, season 2, I think season 2.
3.
I don't know, whatever. 3. Okay, we're in 3. It is. This game is almost 9 years old, and you open vert and walk away from it. Come on. I don't care if you're a console player. You know to use the vert. Like these are minor things that they need to work on. And I mean, Rain's doing a good job of finding space, but it almost feels like he's trying to fill too many roles.
Yeah, well, in that last round, it wasn't even Rain because we just did the swap. It was MU that was clearing a vertical and couldn't quite make it into sight. We just swapped off, and Lindenwood is now on attack, making great use of it. Rain, just like you were saying, has been a star player and is continuing to be so. Goes for this peek. Wow, E-Phantom, I mean, Peeker's advantage, I guess, but wow, that was a little bit slow on the draw, and Rain was a lot faster. Fully covering this upstairs area on Ram, this arguably support operator, and you've done the entry fragging, the space creation, the opening of the vert, and you've gotten 3 picks. Where's your team? They've got to make some more pressure for you, otherwise they're just going to be running around in the same area as you and dying, and Meech just went down. And Rain has created so much for his team right now. We just need to see some push.
Well, clearly they're dying to Maniac. Wraithling's gonna die as well to Mew. And they're gonna potentially put this bomb down. No. No. He didn't just walk in without the diffuser.
So unlucky. Not really unlucky, but so unfortunate.
Hold the flashlight steady. They're gonna get the bomb down, though. 43 seconds left. He's got the clock timer. Maniac may just be able to catch one off guard. He sees the backpack alive, but he's not going to be able to find him. And so he's found out. But he may have created a distraction that Moy needs. He's going to try to get his way up. Maniac throwing grenades at him. They're going to throw a flash as well. He's going to find one. That's one more off the board for Moy. And there's only one left. He's going to rappel upstairs. I don't know if he heard him. But he's going to be able to get on this vert and find the diffuser. And so, it's all up to Rain here. Flash going down. He flashes himself! He may not be able to find Moy. He may be able to get this defuse off. And he does! Round 7's gonna go to MU because he decided to go upstairs and give up the bomb.
I just had to stand up and walk away from my computer for a minute. I don't even think it was the wrong play to go upstairs and hold vertically. Like, you had, it was not a bad choice. But it was too late, first of all. It was a little bit too late. And
shoot down.
You flashed yourself. That's a big misplay.
Just shoot down. You know where the bomb is. You know he's standing on top of the bomb. Shoot directly down.
You don't need the angle.
Why are you shooting at an angle? Or drop over the balcony. You go, oh, look at that. I don't have an angle on it. www space www M1. That's it. That's all it was.
Tragic loss for Lindenwood. They really, honestly, they deserved that round. They breached him beautifully. You know what? I'm not even going to go that far. Rain deserved that round.
Rain did deserve that round. I mean, someone better give him a massage after this game. Him and Meech. Meech was like the MVP on defense. He was doing a really good job of holding the angles that he needed and keeping his team from... Like, he was the person who was gluing together all those patches and the defense and all the holes. And here, Rain's kind of taking the MVP's position in the attack as... No! I talk about Meech and he falls. That's going to be an early opening pick. And so it's going to come back down to Rain.
Good stuff from E-Phantom. As usual, E-Phantom being the MVP for a reason. Finding that early pick, that spawn peak pick, is always a solid one to go for on Cafe. It doesn't matter where the enemies spawn. Like, there's always an option to die. So you have to be careful. You have to play carefully, like just getting past the windows. And it's not fun, right? It's not fun in the first seconds of the round as attackers to have to worry about getting shot. But if you can get past that moment, you got like another 25% of breaching that is free.
Speaking of free, currently they're trying to find any free space that they can. They've been a little less proactive in this round. 4 people standing on top of the roof waiting for something to go, and it's just not going to go that way. They're gonna find a little bit of information, find Juki sitting here on default plant. He's gonna try to sneak his way out as he's been able to get back down, and they know he's I don't think they know he's gone. He's gonna be able to sneak back, potentially get back to site, because with a minute 30 left, they are finally dropping this red hatch and creating a little bit of pressure on this top floor.
No defenders holding red stairs right now. All of them on the other side. I mean, you can see all of the red on the screen there. That's where they're all standing. They're holding down the white corridor, and Moibaho behind the shield wants to make something happen. This is a good hold, but nobody's coming up for the flank, so they can create the space. They can even possibly trade a kill here. If they have anything to take out this, well, if they have anything to take out this this deployable shield, it might be a little bit easier of a push for them, but Zathor takes out Moibaho, and so they might not even need to do that. It's 3 versus 3. Still hiding behind the shield is one player, and they're having a real big, tough time getting hold of Cigar Lounge. Maybe they rotate one off of that location right now. Trix is trying to hold it down. With 40 seconds remaining, Lindenwood's got to find a push here. 3 versus 3.
Like I said, 30 seconds remaining, and a body's gonna fall as Zathor is able to take out Trix, push that player out of bathroom, but there's going to be a player nearby. He goes around the corner shooting, but he isn't shooting in the right place. Juki trying to hold it together, hold Freezer, hold them back, but he's got people coming from every direction. Clip's going to start getting this bomb down. They still have to worry about Zathor in the back, but they do need to prevent this plan. Doc's going to run up to him, find him, and he's going to stay alive. He's going to be able to get back, but he won't be able to find the player over there. Juki's going to get shot in the back by Zathor, and now Dox is stuck between a rock and a hard place. He's going to swing one of the rocks and look to see if he can't take out this kill. There is a drone right there. I know they saw him, but no one's holding it. 1 player left here. 22 seconds. Zathor, all you have to do is sit here and waste time. You have a nade. Chuck that nade against the back wall, please. Throw the nade. There it is. He throws the nade, forces the fight, but it doesn't matter because he doesn't finish it. 10 seconds left. He's going to be able to clutch it with a quad kill.
What a play from Maniac. That 1v2 was incredible. The defense looked like it was falling apart towards the end there. It was a fairly consolidated push from the attacking side of Lindenwood. They were able to get on site. They were able to get, partial plant down there. Or I should say the full plant, because the full plant went down before Clipped died, but then they were able to find the trade back out onto Clipped. Lindenwood's going to take a timeout here, understandably so. That's a really, morale-killing loss to take there. But in any case, I mean, what an absolute monstrous play from Maniac there.
What do you think they're talking about in this little timeout here?
I think somebody raged, and they took a timeout because they needed to calm down.
I mean, so here's the thing with best of threes. The biggest thing isn't even really making sure that you warm up. It is endurance. It doesn't matter how good of a player you are. If you cannot endure the best of 3, then you'll get to this third map, 4-4, and you'll start playing terribly. You'll break apart and just kind of fall to the wayside.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you there. And these have been not the longest that the sets could be, as the first 2 games didn't go super far. They didn't go the distance. But this one at 4-4 looks like it could. Very close game so far. And with the Redhawgs taking the first 2 rounds of defense, Lindenwood had to take that time out because they really thought they had something with that last round, and they did. It was just an unfortunate misplay, and they couldn't quite secure it. So taking the timeout is good. It's a good way to reset the morale and possibly talk about anything that you might need fixed in that moment. But I don't think that their attacks have been, utterly terrible.
5 seconds to insertion.
No, I think the problem with Lindenwood is they haven't really figured out that last thing. there's just one little knob they need to turn to really start having some good attacks. I'm not gonna say great, because at this level you're still figuring out stuff as a team, as an individual, that you need to work on. But at the very least, having coercive attacks, where you're not doing stuff that's like, what did I just watch?
Yeah, it's a really tragic way to lose too, because those first 2 rounds started off very strong for the attack, even to the point where it got to the very last moment. Everything was in the favor of the attackers. Last seconds on the diffuser, and the last player being Rain from the first one, and I think Zathar from the second one, not being able to close it, just due to what, like a grenade launch misplay. It could any number of very, very tiny things, like you said, that very, very last thing is just missing, and it's a really depressing way to lose 2 rounds, especially when you should have won both. It should be like 6-2 right now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Sorry, I got a little mesmerized by the Ram gadget. It's so beautiful to watch it just open up that floor.
So rhythmic.
It is. Like look at this. Let's take a moment to appreciate this while people are taking damage. Beautiful.
Thank you, Observer.
Thank you very much.
All right, getting into the rest of this, though, they have opened up a lot of that vertical in mining. It's going to cause a lot of problems long term, especially with, well, I was going to say how early they did this, but they've only got a minute left. And last time that this exact situation happened, they got the hatch open, they got the upper walls open. They did not keep anybody upstairs. They've already sent 2 people on red stairs, and this is looking like a repeat of what happened last time. They sent a couple of people to red stairs. They both died. They had nobody upstairs, and it was looking not fantastic. Granted, I believe that was actually opposite sides when I was complaining about that. I think that was Redhawgs on attack, but it's really a matter of whether or not Lindenwood will fall into that same pattern of failure, and history will repeat itself or not.
First thing they're gonna fall into is Moy here sitting in bakery. Never mind, they're not gonna fall into it. He's actually gonna fall to the bullets of Clipped. Zay's gonna find one of his own on the tricks with a nade. So there's two players off the board, but they only have 15 seconds left. Time is still a constraint for both teams. Maniac's gonna fall to a beautiful shot from Rain. E-Phantom's gonna find one onto Meech, excuse me. Zay's gonna find one of his own. It's all up to E-Phantom to keep it together for his team. He's gonna find one onto Rain, who tried to walk down those red stairs, but wasn't able to find it. And so he's now got that diffuser planted. 45 seconds left, and the clock is ticking.
Yeah, one lion comes out and the clock continues to tick, as a 1v3 is what you have to take. To your point, 10 seconds per kill is not easy to do, especially when you're approaching from Freezer and you have basically like a battalion of Pokemon trainers in front of you that you've got to hit one by one. And if you lose to one of them, you lose the whole run. E-Phantom's pushing in, and you lose to the furthest. That's a tough one. But Clipped had a really nice angle into Freezer there. All of the angles being held. That was exactly what we wanted to see when we saw Redhawgs do the same attack, but Lindenwood executed it just so perfectly.
Going to this next one, reading Fireplace. Hopefully a little bit better than the kitchen. It's felt so far like they're not winning these defenses because of, or they're not getting close to winning the defense, I should say, because of like individual skill, the way they're playing. Lindenwood's just kind of walking around for a while. They're just kind of standing there, figuring out their plan. I almost feel like they don't have roles. Like, sure, they obviously have like, oh, you're going to be the entry, you're going to be the soft support, yada yada. But those aren't the only roles in a game. You have to have someone who is designated flank watch. Usually it's a flex and or the soft support, depending on your team. You have to have someone who is going to sit on cams when you have 5 people alive. You have to have someone who is going to take that space, someone who is your dedicated planner. And it kind of feels like it's just happening in the moment.
I don't disagree with you. It sounds like they're kind of making that up on the fly. And as expertly as they played the post plant from last round, they didn't deserve to have the plant at all. Having 10 seconds remaining and trying to rush into site, you were lucky that you traded 2 kills and got it, or 2 kills and got it down to a 4-2, and then getting that last kill to make it a 3-1. That kill trade. I mean, it's not dominating. The performances are not dominating. These matches can be decided by one small change on either side. And Redhawgs kind of has the onus right now to make it them.
Yep, this could go either way. Speaking of going either way, Rain's gonna walk in, almost died of that thorn trap. He's gonna see if he can't find anyone. But do remember, this is bottom floor. So they do still need to get down to that second floor, but there's still a lot that they have to work out. They need to get through here, clear out these players sitting inside of... Oh no! He almost fell. But it's actually going to be... E-Phantom is going to fall, Jugi's going to fall as well. That's 2 bodies already off the board for India.
That's a great way to attack from Lindenwood. Oh, what a spot, though. Coming up those stairs, Maniac finds a kill onto Rain, and that's going to be a devastating kill. However, the Rams have come out already, and a lot of the vert has been opened. It's maybe not as much as you wanted, but this is where you want to ideally get the plant down. Still have to deal with that castle, but that's, I think, exactly what Meech just took out. Speaking of Meech taking out something, though, Trix goes down.
Only 2 bodies left on the board for MU, but they have a minute to waste. Sathar is going to take a lot of damage, but he's actually going to be able to find a Maniac who tried to take him out. So it's all up to Moy, but believe it or not, the bomb is going down before 30 seconds left in the round. I know it's kind of crazy.
Snaps.
It's happening. Snaps, little snaps here and there. But it's actually going to be clip snapping over to Moy's head and picking up another round for Lindenwood.
And Lindenwood is cleaning it up a little bit. Good attacks, not waiting as long this time, but still executing the post plant very nicely. Having a numbers advantage obviously helps. So it's something that Redhawgs probably need to determine is how their players are dying so early. Is it just to random gunfights or what? They held that third floor with a very intelligent setup, but they weren't prepared for Rain to swing that wide past the opening of the fence and then getting to skip over to the other side of the platform. I think that maybe they weren't expecting that, or maybe they just weren't as quick to the draw as Rain seems to be on every gunfight. But in any case, they cannot lose an early player and then trade a bunch of other players. It just doesn't work out for defense.
Oh, I mean, I know trades are obviously a very important part, but part of that is also making sure that you don't let the other team trade back.
I mean, if I'm... You know what? No. If you right now are MU's coach, what is your biggest piece of advice to win these next 2 rounds?
I don't like when you do
see
this,
what-
man. Can you
I-
just answer
I-
the questions yourself?
No,
I'm so bad at the
no.
game that I'm always afraid
Here's
I'm
the
going
thing.
to be
Here's the thing. No. It's okay to be wrong. It is absolutely okay to be wrong because you can't be more wrong than what is currently happening.
Oh my goodness.
I like to engage your brain a little bit because mine's not here right now.
I understand. I mean, watching a lot of this gameplay, there's some things that you're just like, wow, that was really smart. That was really beautiful. And then some things where you're just like, why? What?
I've been playing this game for 6 years, and I still do that. I still stare at players of like, what the heck? We're gonna go with that one. What the heck? I don't know. Sometimes you question whether or not people are putting thought into it. As they're just okay.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I definitely understand. There's a little bit of something here that we can take solace in, though, and it's that Lindenwood is droning. They're taking a lot of time to drone out the areas.
They
before
are
drop
droning.
in. It's beautiful.
It is beautiful. It is very beautiful. They still haven't really figured out how to clear Juki here. What you do is, so there's a window directly underneath this balcony. You punch open that window and chuck a nade underneath. Or
exactly
you
what
do
they
what
just
Rain
did.
does. No. They threw it from on top. They threw it from the hatch.
Oh, okay.
but I mean, you could throw a flash and then the nade to clear that ADS. I mean, if you drone, you know there's an ADS there. Clearly they didn't drone because Rain just walked in and died. What the heck?
Clip drops in though. Getting some space in cigar shop here. Proximity alarm is going to spot him. He can't seem to spot the proximity alarm back though. Just a little bit of a fun gameplay there. Rain is down though, so 4 versus 5 when your primary entry is down. It's gonna make it a lot easier for Redhawgs to find stuff on you, and Redhawgs are feeling it too. They are feeling that they have pressure with Rain being down, and so they're playing more of these aggressive angles. They're keeping control of site and upstairs, and it seems to be working out just fine. Trix goes down, Maniac goes down though, and it's 2v3 now. 2v1, excuse me. Meech and Clip take out Juki and Moy Bajo, and what was that momentum swap? Lindenwood is up 2-1. They're pushing their last couple of players in. E-Phantom's got this weird, this tight angle under bar, holding only one specific angle, and with 2 drones left on the side of Lindenwood. Only one of them on a player that's alive. You think that they'd go for it, but they don't. They were just relying on Lion's gadget to prevent E-Phantom from doing anything. 10 seconds left, though, and it's a 1v1. E-Phantom is able to take it out, and what was that? They had a 2v1 situation with 1 drone alive. They had enough time to drone out the last player to get to site, and both of them died. And Lindenwood loses 6, and it's 6-5. I mean, this is just looking like it's falling apart. Everything that Lindenwood had, all of the momentum is crumbling.
That was a round. That it may not have been in the history books, but that was a round, to put it plainly. How do you go from
Protect your bombs from being
up
defused by
5-3 to losing a 2-1?
bomb located by attackers.
I was so proud.
I was like, oh. No, they were down 3-5. Excuse me, they were down 3-5. And got up 2-1.
Yes.
And then threw it because they both ran across and he didn't go pick up his teammate. Have him crawl around the corner. Throw a cam maybe. Have something watching it. I don't.
Yeah.
There are
I don't know,
very
maybe
few times
5 seconds.
where
Sorry, go ahead.
I will say, no, you're good. Where I will say, oh, hey, you're in a 2v1, go pick up your teammate.
Defuse a bomb.
That was one of them. You know he's on the chassis. Like, you just saw him shoot at you. You know where he is. Just pick him up.
Yeah, it's possible they were feeling the time pressure of only having 10 to 15 seconds, but I think you don't even get in that position to begin with, right? With 25
Yeah.
seconds remaining, you had a
Yeah.
drone that you could have used to get sight, to like just understand the general vicinity that your opponent's in. Then use
Yeah.
the Lion gadget to run across. It feels like they don't feel comfortable in a time crunch using all of their utility. They feel like since they have a numbers advantage, they just need to get the space and then get the plant down. If you want to do that, just walk into site together and trade the kills.
Yeah. No, I mean definitely. There's to say it plainly, there's a lot of questionable decisions that have been made tonight from both teams. I definitely think if you're going back to the drawing board, start with the way that you are IGLing. Individually, I think all the players tonight have been playing incredibly well. I think we've seen everyone kind of had their moment to shine, but it has just been as a team, not even like coordination wise, just shot calling, like what your plan is. Sometimes it feels like it's just non-existent.
I agree with that. I think all the players, unlike most games that we see, all the players have had their moments to shine. Rain more than others. But in any case, all the players have had opportunity and have done really, really well. So it's really just about the IGLing, or even maybe just like the general game plan getting started. I think it's more the IGLing because a lot of these attacks and defenses start off strong, but the adaptation mid-round is not there.
No, I mean they've been doing somewhat well, a somewhat good job on making sure that they adapt between rounds, but there's not that fast thinking that I would like to see coming out from any of these players, where they're going, oh, hey, there is this.
Rain, unsurprisingly, pick him another one. He's been doing incredibly well all night. So I'm not even gonna really highlight that. But like I said, there hasn't been this thing. Hey, I realized this is happening. Let's pivot. It's just not happening.
Yeah, and with 30 seconds left, by the way, we've been talking this whole round because there hasn't been any action. 23 seconds remaining, and it's 5 versus 4. Lindenwood had, like, a lot of pressure. They got the vert open pretty early, and now they're having to push in, like, with 15 seconds remaining with 4 defenders alive, and you lost 2 players. You lost your man advantage, and how are you going to push in 10 seconds left now?
10 seconds to go.
8 seconds left on the board. There's still 4 bodies to deal with. There's people everywhere. Trix is going to find one. They're going to find another. Rain looking to see if he can find his. But what we will find ourselves at is OT.
How did this get to OT?
I'll tell you. Lindenwood put the L in Lindenwood. That's about it.
I hate to say it. But you're entirely right. Lindenwood had 3 rounds. 3 rounds on attack. Just to be clear. That's half the rounds on attack. And I'm being generous. Actually, 4 rounds. They had 4 rounds on attack. The first 2 rounds, the last 3rd floor round where they had they went from a 3v5 to a 2v1 and then lost. And then the very final round that they had like everything opened up. They were ready to push in. But even pessimistically, 3 rounds, let's say, where they should have won. Should have taken the entire match. And they bungled it. I mean, I have no better word to say.
Yeah. No, I mean, I feel like I'm watching an Atlanta team play. Like,
whoa.
as an Atlanta native, I feel like I'm watching an Atlanta team play.
All right, maybe we got to talk after this. I'm an Atlanta native as well.
Okay. I just
No, not that I disagree with you. Just that it's cool that.
No. Yeah. I was just thinking of the last time I watched a Braves game. Sorry, I had to bring it up. I'm sorry.
Fair.
Sorry. I had to. Anyway, we're done with talking about real life. This is a video game where people shoot at each other. So let's talk about what's happening. Yeah, back into this game where actually nothing is happening. They are all getting on the roof, as they should, droning it out, starting their push eventually, and we'll see if hopefully they speed it up. It is overtime at this point. Lindenwood did a little bit better of a job with the time, but we're still down to the wire almost every round.
This is Cafeteria, and they're on the 3rd floor, so it's really about how quickly they can scale down. Rain, I don't love that Rain is the only person on 2nd floor right now. That's kind of insane to me, that he was able to get down here, and he's the only person trying to create space, open up corners, and make sure that the defenders have a hard time rotating around. But he's alone. He's trying to open up this vert alone, and the second that he gets pushed from any angle, and maybe he's looking down in using the vert to his advantage, he's dead. So he's got to have his teammates collapse with him quickly.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, you should be spending about 30 seconds having 3 people drone, because you're all going to the roof. You get there about 2 minutes, 30 seconds. You should be spending about 30 seconds droning the top floor, and then a minute establishing yourself fully on the 2nd floor. They're roughly around that part. This is when people need to start walking downstairs. And I'm not seeing it.
Rain continuing to work the vert. Teammates alongside all 5 players on the 2nd floor right now. Finally, they're going outside to try to push from the front of Cafeteria. And we're going to see them try to do that. E-Phantom, though, behind this deployable shield. What a nice little peek there to take that kill. Lindenwood's got pressure now. 38 seconds and you're a man down. This is why you have to make moves quicker. Because if you lose a man, suddenly your last second attack is going to be a nightmare.
30 seconds left on the board. They're going to go ahead and clear that shield, but he's just going to walk in, and Phantom's still alive for some reason. Clip, you got to win that fight. Zay looking to win to see if he can't win on one of his own. Wraithing firing a little bit towards this Warden, so far hasn't been able to find it. He's going to run directly into a player sitting inside a bar, and there he falls. Wraithing able to find one in bar, but they don't have any time. This is going to be MU picking up the first round of overtime, putting us at 6-7.
Operators, you have run out of time.
Good stuff from MU. Although it didn't look like they had to put in a lot of effort to win that. It was more just keeping their players alive. They got like one kind of nice pick fairly late in the round, but they didn't have any pressure on third floor. They had very little pressure on second floor. And all they had to do was keep their players alive and hold down angles on the first floor. And it worked out exactly like they wanted it to. Lindenwood spent an insane amount of time clearing out all of the other floors and opening up the vert. And it led to nothing, unfortunately, for them. So good stuff from MU to play passively, I suppose.
Defenders, protect your bombs from
Yeah, I mean, I definitely don't feel like this is really a great map for either team. I think they're starting to feel that fatigue. Probably roughly around round number 4 is when we started to see a lot of mistakes come out. And I mean, I can't blame them. It's been 11... What was the score line last map?
What was what?
7-3? 7-3 last map? Yeah,
7-3.
25 rounds is insane to play. It has been
10 seconds.
3 hours. It is hard to play that much Siege. I know we're seeing a lot of issues, and I know we're really capitalizing on them, but
Attack
here's the thing.
locate and defuse the bomb.
This is really what you need to go and realize and make autopilot. If you are seeing issues when you are fatigued, it means that you are not autopiloting them. Because when you autopilot stuff, it doesn't matter how tired you are, you do it without thinking, and it doesn't require energy. That's where the big issues are really coming from. Stuff that should be autopiloted, and it's not.
Definitely can understand that. They're putting in a lot of effort on things that probably should just be more straightforward. And it tends to work out better for the defending team if both teams are on that type of mindset. So we'll see if Lindenwood, as the defenders, will be able to utilize their autopilot in a more traditional fashion that allows defense to last nicely, or if the Redhawgs, since they are only one round away from winning, will come through with something really aggressive or really surprising, or maybe just really disciplined to take this out. All they have to do is put all of their energy into this final round.
This could be a round here for MU, but I feel like they almost suffer with the time problems more than Lindenwood was, and so they need to make sure they're keeping an eye on that. I'm looking to see if he can't find a kill, but Zathar's got to be the king of dodging nades. I've seen this man dodge like 5 floor nades so far in this game alone. He's gonna try to get this wall open, but I think it's actually fully protected now. He's gonna die. Rain's gonna die to the window. Rain dying to Maniac in the window, but I don't think they can open up that wall anymore.
Look at the time. We're at 1:10 left, and we have 3 players still on the roof.
Phantom trying to nade from second floor, but he's not going to find that. He's not going to find it. Shield is too far back. Still sitting on the second floor with 53 seconds left. You got to walk up red stairs, walk up white stairs. Do something, please. Nade's going to go out. Trix is going to find Meech. They're finally collapsing on this site, but they still have 3 bodies to work with.
It's 5 versus 3. They could just run into sight and try to trade bodies. There's not a whole lot stopping them besides maybe a smoke, although smoke getting a little bit low there. Going down, actually, not smoke, but clipped, and now it's a 5v2. All they really have to do is throw bodies in there. Redhawgs have done an incredible job. What a great peek. Maniac comes out, catching Zathor with a utility out, and Phantom, as the MVP, taking out Wraithling to win this game, take the match over Lindenwood. Congratulations. The MU Redhawgs hard-fought victory is right. The Redhawgs put all of their effort, all of their final pieces of energy into that last round, into playing disciplined, using grenades to take out deployable shields, work their way into the site, albeit possibly a little bit slowly. They were able to do it correctly, and they fully deserve this victory.
Long, hard-fought victory it was. Both teams obviously have a lot of work to do. I mean, they're obviously we talked a lot about their issues, but I kind of want to spend this last couple minutes to talk about what they did right. Rain, beautiful, all 3 maps, doing a great job of finding those openings inside of the defenses and taking advantage of it.
Absolutely, 100%.
On the other side, on the other side, Evenom did a great job of just holding those far roams, using that dual roam, being able to play really well off of his teammates, and just kind of keep them together, preventing them from just being able to walk in.
Yeah, really solid stuff. I mean, I loved watching all of Rain's, shove ins. It seemed like we talked a lot about needing to drone out areas, and there were occasions where Rain definitely droned in his areas, but there was very few instances where Rain kind of dropped into sight or worked his way into sight where he died. It wasn't. There were a few gunfights. To be clear, Rain was the better gunman in the majority of fights that he took, but was able to work himself into clutch and crucial positions to the site before his team was able to even clear out different floors. So he was working his magic quickly and effectively to the point where he was a lot of the reason why the attacking team was able to pressure on attacking side as early as they were in any given round.
Yeah, it almost felt like we would be like, it'd be like, a minute 15 in the round, and it would swap over. You'd swap over real quick to raid, and he'd just be walking in somewhere. You're like, where did he find this opening?
Yeah,
it's like he was doing a great job. There were some times like when he walked into Juki, sitting there right on default. I guess he did drone. I really don't know what happened there. He wasn't even gun up, I don't think. Not too sure. So obviously, a little bit of mistakes. But as a team, both, at least in the first 2 maps, they both had a lot of things that they did correct. Like I said a little bit earlier, it's fatigue at this point. It is map 3. It has been almost 3 hours at this point. It's hard to play that much Siege and not get tired. And so I think if you as a team, Lindenwood and MU, if you're listening to this right now, whether it be the VOD or live, look at the map that you won and take notes on this. This third map, it wasn't the greatest for either team. Honestly, I wouldn't even VOD review it. You both looked like you weren't playing correctly. I would VOD review the game you won and take notes on that because you both did some very incredible things. It wasn't your enemy just giving it away. It was you taking the time, doing not even your map pick, the opponent's map pick, and doing it properly.
Absolutely. It's just a testament to how even when your opponent comes prepared on the map that they selected, if you have proper team communication and adaptation, you can overcome. And both teams did do that at some point on those opponents' maps. So 100% agree with you there. Lindenwood, we talked about Rain doing so incredibly, but MU, whenever they came together well, it was never one standout player. It was always a group effort or individuals taking specific rounds in a grand way. E-Phantom obviously showing up big in the clutch moments where it really mattered. Yeah. But in terms of like holding down, solidifying positions, it was the entire team and the communication all across the board. So as you said, there are things that both teams could use to improve on. But as far as like working together when it mattered, MU really pulled out.
Definitely. And I think that kind of closes it out for us. We're going to go ahead and finish this off. Thank you for joining us for week number 5 of Midwest R6 for MU versus Lindenwood. And MU was able to take that in map number 3 in an exciting series. My name was Terradus, and I was joined
Kevin
by
with a K.
Hi. Kevin with a K. Is there a Kevin with a C? Sorry, I gotta ask. Is there a Kevin with a C?
You never know. I gotta be clear,
Understandable. But yeah, thank you for joining us for week number 5, and y'all have a great night.
Hope you enjoyed the 35 rounds. Bye-bye.